Introducing the challenger from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 295 pounds. Emotionless, heartless, and hate.
Now all you do is watch my story.
The demon has awakened. Finn Balor will always be known as the first ever WWE Universal Champion. After an incredible match with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, Finn Balor forced to relinquish the title the next day due to injury. But Finn Balor continues to grow his legend here in WWE. There are cruel intentions on the face of the demon. I've followed Finn Balor's career for many years. I've gotten to know the man well. But believe me when I say, I see someone completely different tonight in the demon. Well, the WWE Universe is well aware that they are seeing something extremely special here tonight. The dead man has arrived. The masked demon out to claim soul. Who will rest in peace tonight? Here he comes. The bell is rung, and we begin the excitement of the WWE Universal. victory worthy of a new champion. Honestly, Michael, there's no way they can think to describe this other than absolute goosebumps. Can imagine how the new champ must feel, Byron.
You make vacations fun, and we make booking them easy. Find your perfect place to stay. Booking.com. Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Marvel just released a first look at Namor in Black Panther 2, so we'll break it all down. We got a reference to him during Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, so I'll explain that too. The writer of Doctor Strange 2 explained why they didn't use Namor in the movie, and it has a lot to do with what's happening in Black Panther 2. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll be getting a Black Panther 2 trailer really soon too. You may see people posting about Namor in all your feeds this morning. Artwork of him came from the movie. Marvel has also talked about the different backstory they've created for the character so that he won't feel like Marvel's version of Aquaman. Just because so much of Aquaman's backstory is similar to Namor's backstory, even though if you actually read the comics, Namor is quite different. This is a blurry potato version of what Namor is going to look like. It just says this uniform is going to be inspired by the traditional look. He does kind of look like classic Namor with the original costume. They're just updating it a little bit with modern-looking technology. It's supposed to be advanced the same way that Black Panther and the people of Wakanda use really advanced technology because of the way they evolved in secrecy. So what Marvel has done is they just tuned his backstory a little bit with a couple of changes to make him fit with what they've explained in the ancient history of the MCU. And it actually ties way back to the Eternals movie as well. That's right, some of the stuff they did in the Eternals movie helped set up what's going on with modern-day Namor in the MCU. There's also a lot going on with the MCU gods during the movie that will tie in with what happened during Moon Knight and during Thor: Love and Thunder. We literally just saw the humanoid form of Boss, the Panther goddess, in Thor: Love and Thunder. I'll post a link to that video in the description below. There's another trailer coming out too that you'll probably see her in. In the MCU, Namor and his people will be worshipping the Jaguar god. So it'll be a relatively similar backstory with the way that Wakandans and Black Panther worship the Panther goddess. These are the details that they released about his new backstory. The character will not originate in Atlantis, as in the comics, but in the Central American region and will come from the historic and submerged city of Mexican culture, Tenochtitlan. So you get what they're saying. They're not saying that the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan was Atlantis. They're just saying that Igbo people came from a group of those people. Doctor Strange 2 with Scarlet Witch, this is the Illuminati. There were a ton of cameos. It was great. I've done a bunch of videos for it, so I'll post all those in the links below. But a lot of you are also like, why wasn't Namor part of the Illuminati? He was one of the core members of the team in the comics. If you would have seen like a good opportunity to introduce the character. Well, the writer of the movie said that they weren't allowed to use Namor. Like, specifically, we talked about using him, and Kevin Feige was like, no, they were using him in Black Panther 2. They also explained his path to the throne of Atlantis, so to speak, whatever they're going to call Atlantis in the MCU, is similar to Black Panther's path in the MCU. They're trying to create some similarities between their characters, so when the movie picks up, it sounds like Namor will have been the prince of his city, like his parents will still be alive, king and queen. The same way that when Captain America Civil War picked up, Black Panther's father, T'Chaka, was still alive, but he had already become Black Panther and gotten his powers. It sounds like something is going to happen, and eventually he will be forced to take the throne, and that'll be involved in the big beef in the MCU between their characters. But remember what happened with Black Panther during Captain America Civil War when he became king after his father had been assassinated? We're trying to give reasons why Namor would be such an asshole inside the MCU and why he starts to learn about the existence of his version of Atlantis because of a new technology created by Riri Williams or MIT. So that also explains why Riri Williams is in this film to begin with, because in the comics, she doesn't really have anything to do with Wakanda. They are doing Iron Man series and an Iron Man Armor Wars series. It also sounds like while she's tinkering with creating the new version of armor that will eventually debut in the Ironheart series, some part of that new technology accidentally reveals the existence of Atlantis. It sounds like it'll be one of those accidental things at the start that'll spin up into chaos and cause full-blown war between their peoples. It's kind of the way that Aaron Zeno tried to manipulate events to push the Avengers to eventually break apart. The Winter Soldier had done a lot of bad things. They weren't lying about that. He was an actual criminal. But Aaron Zeno tried to play on those circumstances to push the Avengers to fight with each other eventually. It caused this giant war. It sounds like it'll be a similar situation during Black Panther 2. Even though it sounds like Namor is trying to protect the people and wants to go to Black Panther for help, and they don't really want to get involved with that. And that leads them to go to war with each other eventually, as Namor is trying to protect his people, or thinks that he's protecting his people. It sounds like neither one of those groups will be responsible for starting things. Like somebody behind the scenes will try to spin things up into a greater chaos.
Reading on Nostromus was a mild subduction under the It's an earthquake under the ocean. We entered it by not ending.
I know everybody would love to see a version of Dr. Doom debut in the MCU, but this just seems like there's too much going on in this film for them to introduce Dr. Doom on top of all this. It does say, though, that during the movie, they will debut Wakanda's Navy for the first time. Like, they have an actual naval force that's more capable of fighting underwater. Some of those ships that they already used during the movie are more suited for atmospheric flight, but they can be modified for deep space flight, as confirmed during the What If series. But there's a whole lot to unpack here. First thing, mutants. Namor is called the first mutant in the comics because he was the actual first character literally in Marvel Comics they debuted as a mutant. That was in 1939. Apocalypse, Selene, who are also mutants that debuted earlier in the timeline in the context of the universe, weren't actually created in real life till much later. If you're going by actual debut, though, technically Scarlet Witch will be one of our first mutants in the MCU. Like, she and Quicksilver were already canonized as mutants. Billy and Tommy are also mutants in the MCU. And now after Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, it seems like Marvel is really just using the multiverse to introduce most of the mutants to the MCU for the Legacy Fox X-Men universe.
He's all right with shit.
But we'll probably see mutants show up in a couple of different sources. Like, some will show up in the universe because of events that have happened, and some of them will come from the multiverse. It sounds like he's going to be close to Black Panther's age, to T'Challa's age, and he'll have similar circumstances that T'Challa has when he took the throne eventually. He was forced to leave these people after his father had been assassinated. It sounds like something might happen to Namor's parents during this one, too. The whole subplot tying them to the Eternals movie is them coming from the Central American Aztec Mexican culture in Tenochtitlan. So some of their backstory is trying to play on real-world mythology about what actually happened to the Aztec culture, because they were these highly advanced people in real life. The way they set up the Atlanteans during the Eternals movie is that basically Namor people come from the same group of Aztecs who eventually left this city when it fell to ruin. They have this advanced culture, the Eternals are living amongst them, everything seems like it's fine. They're meant to be advanced kind of like the Wakandans are during this period of history. And later in the timeline, the fans and Peacekeepers start invading, killing them up. This is big enough to Eternals to break up the first time because they want to help them, but Ajax is still towing the line for Eric to judge, get the Celestials trying to help Tuna grow faster, get to the invasion faster. So it really believes that a small group of the Aztecs, not all the ones that survived, but some of them, they form a community using the rainforest that Druid uses his powers to do business from the rest of the world for a couple thousand years to their present day. Those are not meant to be the Atlanteans. The group of Aztecs that Namor would have come from in the city sounds like they were part of that original group that left the city but was separate from Druids. Like, as the Conquistadors started invading, a completely different group of them broke off and created Atlantis, and then just rose up in hiding. The same as Wakanda rose up and their technology evolved without having to worry about wars with other places. But now you see the similarity between Namor's people and Black Panther's people. Like, during the Black Panther attacks during the MCU, knowledge of Wakanda, their way of life, had been threatened by the rest of the world until Black Panther stepped in and eventually found some kind of compromise. The only difference in the comics is that Namor is a way bigger asshole than Black Panther. The whole thing with Namor and his people worshiping the Jaguar god often dovetails with this history right before we saw in Moon Knight and now in Thor: Love and Thunder, we know the gods. This is the Panther goddess, or at least a humanoid form. Most of the time in the comics, the way they depict her is like this humanoid-looking panther, the way that you see the Hippo goddess walking down like a hippo on two legs. isn't really fake him either, but I think he's fake it. I'm afraid you're the whole thing with Black Panther, his powers, and the Panther Goddess is that he has a contract with her, but he's not meant to be protected the same way that Moonlight is now the part of Khonshu. But Moonlight is kind of the slave of Khonshu. Black Panther forms more of a regular contract with the Panther Goddess. She's more of a benevolent god, but she doesn't step in to help them with every single little thing. She usually leads them to their own devices. It seems like Namor is going to have the same type of relationship with the Jaguar god. So that would explain how he would go toe-to-toe with Black Panther, and why he potentially might end up killing him, because we do have to explain Chadwick Boseman's passing. It isn't to be able to address that during the movie. I mean, a lot of questions about what's going on with the next movie of Black Panther, because the mantle will eventually be passed. There's no story behind Black Panther in the comics. There's also rumors about Mbaku in the MCU becoming the next Black Panther. So when we get some more details about how all this is connected, of course I'll do a video. Me and my Randy's doing like a video will post next, so make sure you have the link on my channel so you don't miss that. Everyone click here for that Fear Love and Thunder channel video. I think the link is posted. And keep it to my new Fantastic Four video about how Reed Richards knew about Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.
I was in my class for like 50 seconds.
National travel cards, all great, incredible. It's really cool. It's like really to me. How can it help you? Boost your credit scores instantly. Download the Explorer app now.
definitely a night to celebrate, but let's not lose sight of the fact they have a long road ahead of them now. At least, if they're lucky. Oh, come on, Corey. Don't be such a party pooper. We've got to get you.
Gervonta Tank Davis is one of boxing's biggest stars and a stone-cold knockout artist, but tough.
Welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. We're going to talk a couple of different topics today on the show. We've got your news roundup for you. WWE 2K22's quarterly results, how the game has performed so far. 2K23 is in the works, and a superstar we've all been clamoring for, well, we have some updates on whether they can make it into the game this year. Let's have some fun. Let's go. Let's kick things off with the talk and the conversation around the potential superstar we wanted to have in the game for 2K22 and whether or not they were going to be able to make it. We are, of course, talking about Cody Rhodes. Adrenaline in my soul. According to SGO, WWE wanted 2K22 to add Cody Rhodes to the game after he returned to the company back in April. Though he didn't return to the company until a month after the game's launch, WWE knew of the plans to bring him back in February. Unfortunately, though, that was far too short of notice for the developers at 2K to do anything to get him in the game. Quote, WWE tried, but it was quickly shot down. A person close to the development team said. They knew it was unlikely, but you don't know for sure unless you ask. So according to this, it doesn't sound like we are going to be able to get Cody Rhodes in 2K22, unfortunately. Does it rule it out completely? No. I like to stay a little optimistic about these things. What they could do to satisfy fans if they really wanted to, and I personally don't think they will do this, you let me know if they would, but they could add in Cody's Tron as well as his entrance music. The only issue that they highlight in the SGO article, and I agree with, is you have the ring announcer name. Since Greg Hamilton, the ring announcer, is no longer with the company, you can't really get that voiceover work in there. But I'm pretty sure the mod community could figure something out, couldn't they? Now, I did mention Cody for 2K23. That's another piece of the conversation here, which is 2K23 is in development, it is in the works. 2K had their earnings call, which they wrapped up the results, and we get into all of that, regarding 2K22's performance. They do have it slated in the reports that WWE 2K23 will be coming out in the fiscal year of 2023. The dates are to be determined, but this is probably going to line up in that we're going to get 2K23 right around the same time that we got 22, and that being the WrestleMania season. We typically get the games out in October. Technically, they could release 2K23 this coming October, November, but that is aggressive, and I don't see 2K really pushing the envelope to be overly aggressive with the next game's launch. If you told me the game is coming out in October, November, I really would doubt it. I really wouldn't believe you here. We finish up the DLC at the tail end of the summer. I mean, if you turn around and you said, here's your live service 2K23 game, that's going to be a big update card, I would take it. But I think that they will totally wait until likely the game's launch in March of 2023. And the reason I say that is because they see running 2K in their earnings results. They did have a lot of success when it comes to 2K22. In terms of units in the US, and this is coming from the Take-Two's earnings report, in terms of units in the US, WWE 2K22 had the best month one of any title in WWE 2K franchise history. It outperformed, and we've heard reports on this before, that it outperformed 2K20, which is not very surprising, but they also outperformed 2K19. And according to their statistics, their reports, it has outperformed all the other games. Now, this could be due to a drought in the wrestling games. We waited almost 2 years for another wrestling game. And so it could be that fans were really clamoring for a new game, and that's why they have a huge spike in sales results. Or it could just be that they were excited, they enjoy it, and they're having a great time with it. What do you think? Another quick note here is just with Supercard. I know that it is the mobile game, but it's interesting because it kind of ties into me for my factions. WWE Supercard is 2K's highest grossing mobile game with more than 26 million downloads. I bring this up because My Factions is their card game for console, and My Factions is interesting, isn't it? They are totally nuts on it. We covered the recent news about NASCAR being removed from the upcoming DLC and in its place we're getting 2 live action cards. 2K really likes this, but from a business perspective, you can see why 2K pushes hard on the mobile games and the card playing games.
This guy has a lot of fight in him, and competing for the title will make him even tougher.
Got a good ring. I'm a little nervous on the line, even though I wrote it. You gave me the paper. I understand. Here we go. You ready?
I guess, man.
You ready? Here we go. Now do the name, man. Do the name. Here we go. Damn, Craig Jr., man. What you been up to, man?
Man, nothing going to say that. Just got fired from my job.
Hey, is great. What you been up to, man?
Man, nothing's going to say that. Just got fired from my job.
That is great. Good, man. You ain't put in on this, man. I'm glad you got that. Listen to me. Listen. I mean, listen, happy. Listen, happy. Tell me what. You want me to help you find Smokey? Bye, Felicia. It's biscuit. If it ain't about the money, song of the week.
Down 3-0. We all know how that is, how tough that is. What's the?
We outside. It's good.
They hustling on brick road stuff. Out the cash app case, got ice. $1 million.
Yeah, you're right.
Never credit gangsters, never die.
Let's go.
Let's go.
My life a motherfucking.
gonna pop. It's still 5 times. It's 8 times. If you speak Spanish, that's one of those tools. For that clean first phase, I mean, this is straight up triple box. Cheese, soda, classic, all this great for free game is to fill out strike cash. So, feature some more career doctor or force it as far as food skills I feel the Brazilian expansion of legal dollars on the charge.
It's not like, because sometimes people think about, you're up here, and you're doing it, like, how is that lifestyle?
I feel like, been doing it for like the last 2 years. I feel like it's good. I feel like I've been in when I went independent, I was up. I feel that I ever did, like, doing that amazing. I just feel like, what work for you do, work for you. Independent.
Man, you was over there in Colombia, right? How did you get to Colombia? What more their attention for them to sign you for you to come over?
So like I said, I was dropping like little mixtapes, you know what I'm saying, doing little shows like Kid the Circuit in the South. And I had ended up picking up Boosie's brother TQ, and he had brought me over to the label. They had flew me out, and you know what I'm saying, I had to sign with Boosie's label, and like 6 months later, Columbia did a joint venture with me with Boosie's label. Yeah, and then I kind of got signed soon as I had got the opportunity to like in the exposure. I had got signed maybe like the next 5 months. It wasn't probably 5 months.
How did it feel coming out of Alabama?
And it was crazy, man. It was like a whole big thing. It was like a whole big thing because a lot of people ain't really come out of Alabama before me. So yeah, a couple, but we were just came down to the city. We did like a homecoming concert. Everybody came out, had got my little sign, like stuff like that.
All right, now the Columbia. You was over at Columbia. How did that go with y'all separately?
Talk about history in the
making. Basically, you know what I mean? I just asked to be released. Like, I just asked to be released. I already kind of feel like I ain't really have a whole other building like that. Cause a lot of people that from me had left from spread out. So I was like, man, I just wanted to be released, and they ended up releasing me. Ran my release. I just was a free agent. Like I wasn't on nobody label.
Now give these young artists some game, because you just said something important that probably put it go over other people's head. You said you didn't have a hold of the building, which meaning like, what do that mean to young artists? Because everybody think like, if I'm signed, it's on. I got a record deal. Yeah. I'm the shit. I made it. What do that mean when you say a hold of the building?
I say a hold of the building, like, I mean, the person that bring you in, like this person can want to sign you. They could be, you know what I'm saying, telling the whole building about you. Young Blue, he the one. You know what I'm saying? And they could bring you in, and then next 3 months, they could be at Interscope. You know what I'm saying? Or they could be at another label. So now, you stuck with people you don't even really know. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe in you like that person was pushing for you. So now you just really just getting on the back burner, really.
It's kind of like a football team. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got a team, they ain't playing good, they ain't playing good. They might have just drafted this quarterback 2 years ago. He could be the second pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. Now they fired the coach, they bring another coach in. He not really set on this quarterback because he like, my fucking career ain't going down based off of this nigga. I didn't draft this nigga. He drafted this nigga. That's why he fired. We got to draft a new quarterback. I need him up for that. I'm bringing in depth. I'm going to be responsible for it. So a lot of times when you bring new coaches in, they bring the players in that they feel like fit what they got going on and what they want to get. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like sports and shit.
So now they grant your release. You get off. What happened after that?
I had put out this EP. I had went to Empire. I was like, I want to put out music. I just want to keep building my fan base, just putting out music. How I was putting out music. So basically, I was doing there's a couple of labels trying to sign me. Like I said, I was missing.
Did you go to Empire as an artist or with your own label set up?
I was doing just as an artist, but when I did the deal, I had set up my own label within the process. You know what I'm saying? So I had a couple other deals on the table. Like it was a crazy situation because I was just going to get ready to drop an EP, and it was a label coming at me like, "What do you 300,000. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of hurting at the moment, you know what I'm saying?
Really telling the truth too, because this college,
but just the memory of this shit, man, I was fucked up. Yeah, so I was gonna get ready to like take that deal. It was like 3 albums, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 albums type time. And Empire was like, "Oh, we'll give you finna drop Friday?" Alright, well, you know what I'm saying? It was another like a 5-song EP. It was like, "Alright, we'll give you that and put it out Friday." I'm like, "Put it one Friday?" I'm like, alright, you feel me? So they really stopped me from like doing something crazy for real, because I ain't even really know how the independent bag was for real. So I dropped their project with them, and I dropped their project over the mind skills on their project. You know what I'm saying? Just went from there. But like all that happened within kind of the span of like a couple months, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I dropped it, like 2 weeks later, that's when the Drake thing happened, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, as soon as I got out the flow with it, and so I started making moves by myself, and that's when the Drake thing happened. I was fully independent when the Drake thing happened.
I had a Drizzy thing there.
There's a Boogie, he from my city, DeMarcus Cousin, he from my city.
Shout out to Boogie.
Yeah, Boogie Cousin. Yeah, and, you know, they close, so when I had dropped my EP, Boogie was just like, "Man, they were nasty, man. It's gonna go hard." I didn't get Drake on that. I was just like, yeah. And me too, yeah, me too. I get Drake on anything. So like, I wasn't really thinking like it was gonna happen or nothing like that. I was just like, I'm sending it to him, get playing for him. They ain't sending it to him until you like, let me send it to him, good. But like a week go by, I'm just chilling at the house, just recording. I just look at my phone. I see Drake in the DM. You know what I'm saying? He like, "Hey, send that song." He said, send me the song, send it to me. I got that. Send that. I stop what I'm doing. I'm like, open the verse on right now, send it to him right now. My engineer opened the verse on, sent it to him. I waited 2 hours. I was trying to stay up. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up going to sleep. I had missed the FaceTime call when we went to sleep, but I went to sleep, so I wake up the next morning thing, and I just woke up. I'm like, damn, man. So I woke up. I had waited the same time the next time. I'm like, oh, man, you need to be up late. So I had waited the same time the next day. The FaceTime, he was in the road, he was like, what up? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, you did a song? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna send it now. Send it. History right there.
Shout out to Drizzy for that real nigga shit. That was some real nigga shit, Drizzy. How long you smiled, nigga?
Man,
you couldn't believe it.
I just knew my life could have changed. I feel like my life had already changed. Like, I was making money. Like just off the stuff I was doing, but I just knew it was gonna change. I was like, dang, like the world could be able to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Finally, you feel me? But I knew that all I had to do to come from Alabama. It's hard to touch the world, but everybody think you just like the country. You know what I'm saying? Alabama, stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I knew once Drake got on, so I was like, the world could hear me. They couldn't see how talented that I am. I just knew my life could have changed. And I'm smiling. I was like, man, it could change around this motherfucker. So I knew I was just putting shit on everybody. Everybody that ain't believe in me. I was like, it came at the right time. It's crazy. That's why I said it's like the right thing. Cause I really felt like if I would have got that record while I was on Columbia, I would have felt like I wouldn't have saw nothing of mine. They filming it. I was gonna like, you know what I'm saying? I was just never gonna see it. I just knew I was never gonna see it. I really reap the benefits from it. But I had like 3 more hours left with Columbia. You know what I'm saying? But I was still in that field right now.
So once you dropped the joint out with Drake, I know it must have been the big boy jump off. How did that fucking go? Who off with it? Like, what's the most money you got off? I ain't gonna say the names, but what's the most money you got off?
I was at bidding was like between 8 and 9, like 89 million. But I ended up taking less to go to
You said, I'm chilling, I'm gonna stay independent.
Yeah. Just guys, every all these you see, he was tired, and they falling out. He said, shit, I want to. I just feel like if I was in, you know, he wouldn't even like much less. I was just like, shit, I done did this independent. Why would I jump right back into a major situation? You know what I'm saying? When I can just build my value even more. You know what I'm saying? So now, like,
and let me just say this, right? At a certain point as an artist, you gotta look up and say they a major. They got shitload of money.
Yeah.
I'm talking about their money is longer than fucking Madison Avenue in New York. Nigga, they can paint the whole Madison Avenue with Onyx and they offered me $300,000. And then the independent company, they got some money, but they don't got nothing like that. They offered me $300,000. But this shit was for one project, and this shit was for 3 projects. Yeah. My life. So at the end of the day, it's like you probably didn't make it that difficult to figure out who the fuck I'm going with because you like, even if they get move on, they still good people. And they got all the money now.
Yeah. I just had more to prove. I just knew like, oh, they offered me this. Like, it's mad. Like, once I get over here and get a pile of shots and be able to like, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be priority over here. Like, Al got a deal, Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Right. I ain't gonna be priority over there. So I could be priority over here. And that worked out for me, like being priority, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'd rather be priority over here than be fifth string over here, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, everything works different for different artists. You know, that's what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And if I ever do another major deal, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be with me having leverage in it. So it's still gonna be like a partnership, you know what I'm saying? So people understand that it's not that the major label fucking you know what I'm saying? It's that shit, you don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know like how to construct deals with, you know, and if you don't know, then they ain't gonna say that. They ain't gonna tell you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why she just changed it out because they know artists get more, you know what I'm saying? People get more information.
And it benefits you. The thing that benefits the label, the big labels a lot of times is they be getting a lot of talent out of the ghetto. You just be starting for opportunity as a couple dollars. You know, when you get a motherfucker $50,000, you ain't never had $3,000 at one time. Nigga never had $3,000 all at one time, and you come from nothing and you offering them 50 to him. That's a lot of money. That's a super lot of money. To the label, that's like. We gonna kill him too. We got the next juvenile for 50,000. But you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and then you take the money, then you realize how fast you can run through $50,000. You like, oh shit. Like this is not no money. And then imagine when you're doing all this shit, all these places, and you pulling up on motherfuckers that ain't did half the shit you done. You in the studio with motherfuckers that ain't did half the shit you done. They're like, no, that's my Rolls Royce outside. You know, that shit really for you. So they're like,
places they came from too. Like I done literally been like, you know what I'm saying, around a lot of people that just been shocked, like the stuff that I have, and like where I live, like how I'm being paid for, cars being paid for, you know what I'm saying, and they like some are bigger than me. Yeah, no. It's just, I just like I don't really even care about that. I'm at the point now for real though that I really just do it for that I really love to do it. Like I don't really do it for I like the money, but I don't really do it strictly for that. So when I was thinking about signing my deal, I was like, can I be creative? Can I call the shots? Because I know that when I was trying to call the shots when I was at Columbia, nobody was trying to listen to me. That's why I was stagnant. You know what I'm saying? When I went to Empire, I'm telling them like, dude, alright. Then I started going up. I'm like, why would I mess up that? You know what I'm saying? Why would I mess up that flow? You feel me right now? And this is the most important time in my career. If I don't make it right now, this is gonna be a whole new way of niggas coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coming, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta do it right now. So I do it at the perfect time. I should. Took less, but I didn't trick because less is more, you know what I'm saying, when you own the trip, you feel me?
How did the shows jump from when you went to Empire there and they said, no, we're going to drop this EP this week. Drop that, and then Drake's song come out. How did the show money jump?
The show money jump,
it went from what to what? And you was like, oh shit.
Yeah, like, it went from like I was getting, you know what I'm saying, like I was doing in the mixtape scene doing like 20K or so, you know what I'm saying? And at the mine still, you feel me? When I was still doing clubs, I was getting like 75 or like 75 to like 50, from 50 to 75, just depending on the venue, just depending on like how, you know what I'm saying, how I mess with the people, you know what I'm saying? Like that's throwing it. And I was just getting that for a minute, and I stopped doing club shows. I was like, I want to be a real artist, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do more. I wanted to do live venue shows. I wanted to tour, ticket sales, you know what I'm saying? Hard ticket. I was doing the club so long, like I was really literally doing the club like 4-5 years before I even went mainstream. But that's why like I got old hits. Like you can go look, I got songs with 100 million streams 4-5 years ago. This is Ice on My Baby, all those songs going up on TikTok right now. Old songs I got like that was platinum like 3-4 years ago before I even did the song. So, you know, my fans was there. I had a core fan base already. That's why so many people get that big look, and then like where do you go from now? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing, you know, nowhere to go but down if you ain't got nothing to stand on, you know what I'm saying? So you need that core fan base. Like, you just can't go straight from here to there, you know what I'm saying, and think it's gonna last, you know what I'm saying? You need that core fan base. So I'm good that I did like 4-5 years in hitting every little country town, hitting every little, like I ain't taking no shortcuts with it, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it just ended up being better for me just as a whole.
This episode of $1 Million Game is brought to you by BetterHelp. All listeners of $1 Million River Game right now, you're getting 10% off. I'm talking about your first month of BetterHelp. You need to go to BetterHelp.com/game and get your 10% off. But what I need to talk about is this. You got to stop thinking that it's weak to take care of your mental health. That's a great thing. One thing about BetterHelp is an online therapy, right? Online therapy, they offer video phone, they even live chat sessions with a therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. So, you know, you really need somebody to talk to. So if you do, you can just do that. I use it as a great thing for me to talk to somebody, but I like to do the camera. You know, I like to do the video. I don't have no problem with that, but then if people have problems with it, whatever. But we really need to start taking care of our mental health in a different way. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people has used BetterHelp online therapy. What are you waiting for? BetterHelp. And the African-American community is a stigma. So, listen, man, BetterHelp is here. There's nothing wrong with getting it. You're not going to be looked at as weak. You need to really take care of yourself and stop looking at how people want to see you or worrying about the stigma. It's here to help you, man. It's here to help you take care of yourself, man. Stop playing games. Give it a try. Over 2 million people is on BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/game. All of y'all want to get 10% off our first month. BetterHelp.
Okay, you know what I love, that?
Go ahead.
I love niggas get some money.
Yeah.
You hear me? Because the first thing they say when they get some money, they got that damn Lamborghini, and then the other Lamborghini car, and then the color, and the race, and then... Like, no, you don't have about the money.
That's when you don't want to fuck out of money.
Man, I feel like a lot of us just do. I feel like a lot of us just do that. Like I'm done with cars. Like a lot of us just do that because you gotta look at it. When you young, man, and you just seeing all this stuff, you always want. You never dream of getting. I don't care, bro. When you get that first little check, when you get that first little money, bro, you gonna act an ass, bro. I don't care what nobody say. You gonna act an ass. You know why you gonna act an ass? Because you gonna be like, you really proving to yourself, like, bro, you ain't no Donald Trump. You ain't grow up with money, bro. Like, you prove to yourself that you like trophies. Like, when you come in the hood, it's like, you trophies. I made it. Now, you gotta be smart enough to know when to stop now. You know what I'm saying? If you smart enough to know when to stop, then, you know what I'm saying, you cool, you know what I'm saying, you want to get money, you know what I'm saying, get yourself a little gift, you know what I'm saying, like, man, you know, I've been through the worst of the worst. You get myself some things that I want, you know what I'm saying, see everybody around me straight. Alright, now let's step up a little bit, you know, you still gotta know when to stop, but everybody gonna splurge, you gonna splurge, you gonna do something. But school them about. School these artists that want to come up with everybody out there. Everybody knows Stephen. School them about the artists, man, that want to blow this rocks in this. Tell them about them taxes. Yeah. So that shit hurt. Yeah, that shit hurt. But then a lot of times you gotta have your, you know what I'm saying, your business. Like I spend all my money on my business account, you know what I'm saying. So everything I do is a business move based on every time I move, like it got something to do with business. Like me come here, if I come here for this business, if I go get a drink out the store, you know what I'm saying, it's business. You feel me? I'm going on a business trip and I need something done. So it's like if you don't have your business set up there, you don't know. A lot of us don't know. I mean, it's bad to say, but a lot of us like just don't know about taxes. Like nobody just set us down. They just told us about credit, about taxes, because if we knew none of this stuff, we wouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying, spend on cash. You feel me? Our credit would have been good. We were working on that shit. We were 16. You know what I'm saying? One time we got 21. We had A1 credit. Nobody set us down and told us nothing. So we gotta bump our head and learn for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. Well, now, what you saying, like your management, man. Mm-hmm. How important is management? And how did you select your manager? It was natural, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been knowing Ted since I was 14, you know what I'm saying? And I see these posters, you know what I'm saying, together for a long time. My other manager, Mike, me and him he came and got me when I was like just down, yeah, like I ain't really know what I wanted to do with the music, like he just come pick me up, we just ride just for music, you know. And I was living with my mama, like sometimes I ain't even have $40, like yeah, like give me $20, $40 to go get something to eat. Like this. So I just keep them around, you know what I'm saying? But they just, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things like they don't know how to do everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'd rather, you know, I'd rather just eat with them again. Like I said, you gonna collectively be smart enough to go get people that know more than you know. You know what I'm saying? Don't still have y'all involved. I'm not finna. You know, all come to the shit out here. You know, we need this. You feel me? So everybody can take a little list to build the brain. You know what I'm saying? Other people that know more than us on. But as far as like just keep them to the side, I like that. But I believe in karma. You feel me? And I believe in like real loyal and with eating with people. You just get so many new people. You just sit down and look around and just don't notice nobody. Like really, like nobody that just really. Then when shit go wrong, you got nobody. You know what I'm saying? It just be I don't do shit like that. I mean, but at the end of the day, that's how you know intelligent business people work. You know, if I could say, okay, all right, I'm getting 15%. Right? All right, I'm getting. If I only could take something so far, if I could make you, say if I could make you $1.5 million on the side, right? It's hypothetically speaking, for brand deals or whatever, and I'm getting 15% of that. Okay, I'm making X amount of money, but if I say, okay, I'm gonna give somebody this amount of percentage, and then they gonna come in and they gonna bring $8 million to the table, and now I'm getting 7% of $8 million. It's like, what the fuck is you
smart move. You know what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with people who are genuine and we all got the same goals. Our goal is for you to win. The more you win, the more you're successful, the bigger you are. Everybody else wins. If I'm going through it, then you're going to make it look good too. Everybody got to go through it. So it's my motherfucking job to make sure they go up. What you like in the studio? Fruit nuts. Fuck the connoisseurs. That's important. Motherfucker, they got to create. 8-ounce filet. Shit, that should be there every motherfucking day. Them niggas what you need. He like 3 Mexican chicks dancing when he's up in the video. All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's not an ego play. This ain't no, this is, my man is a superstar, and I'm the closest nigga with him. I was passing out CDs for you. So when we didn't have nothing, now you got everything, of course, I'm willing to do whatever. Because I could have a regular 9 to 5 that I don't like, that I'm waking up going to every fucking day. I hate my I wish I could touch my motherfucking balls out that. And I got a Pooh Shiesty mask on, and he didn't know who I was. I would beat the dog shit out of him. But I can't. I'm getting paid to hang with my homie and do what I love. Do what I was doing when I was 14. We just passing out CDs trying to get a new couple kids up. You know, like this back when Blue was still a virgin. We were trying to get. So that's the best shit in the world, man. Like the best shit in the world is to be able to me, the best shit in the world is being able to make millions of dollars with my cousin. My family. My motherfucker that we was out here robbing motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying? And now we doing some positive shit and we making real money and we able to take care of our families and homies and it's like, you know what I'm saying? That shit's just different. So I commend you for keeping these views around. You know, I know you that gets smiles.
That's right. You know, it's thing. No, because with the show, it showed that you ain't got to know nothing. You can figure it out as you go. It ain't about like some of the greatest managers didn't know from the rip. But he figured it out, and he's on. And when you got somebody that's on point, and make sure the hotel right.
Like Tim, like we were type that we really don't fuck. Like, look, if we go into a room, we gonna leave with whole content. Like, yeah, make that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so he got so many content he can get up over. Like, everywhere we do, you feel know why I like it. He want to learn. Like, he's a split person, he want to learn and just like that. This episode of $1 Million Worth of Grooming is brought to you by Wood is our men's grooming line offering products across hair, body, beard, and shaves. Wood works and smells good. Some of the great scents is Golden Alley, that's Sweet Brandy, and Madagascar Vanilla. We're talking about Summer House, that's Coastal Lavender and Sea Salt. And Fresh Tracks, that's Oak Moss and Pink Pepper. Wood also provides shampoo, conditioners, body wash, moisturizers, deodorants, hair conditioners, oil, shave cream, you know, to get you right in every facet of that bathroom. So you don't gotta have products from this person and this person and this person and this person. None of that. You just get everything from Wood. They take care of you. They got everything that you need, right? All products is $15 or less. So you know they coming with some great prices. You know, you can't beat that. And if you're looking to shop Wood, go to Golden Hour at getwood.com. Getwood.com or at your local CVS stores. Pick you up some.
One of the best spots that you can go on to hotel. All the flavors on it. Yeah, that's the most important. That's the most important joint. Yeah. See, one thing about us, if you're an artist out there, you're trying to do brand deals, you're a manager, really the managers or whatever. Go on LinkedIn, that's where all the plugs at. Instagram and all that's some other shit. But all the people, the vice president of marketing, business, social media, that's on LinkedIn, man. That's what money. I got a whole brand team. I ain't never done anything. You know what I'm saying? But no, we been there too. We had motherfuckers couldn't do nothing. We get on the phone.
Yeah. But because one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If you got, and this is another thing, if you got a manager he got to be able to articulate what the fuck you mean out here.
Yeah.
If he can't articulate what you mean out here, he may be a good person, he may be a great guy, she may be a hell of a woman. If they can't get in a room full of white people, black people, brown people, green people, orange motherfuckers, and convince them that you the shit, and they need you, and they ain't got to really do that much convincing because you got proof of concept. It's like that I can't because one thing I found out early in the game is, you know, I had a manager and it was like I would bump into motherfuckers and motherfuckers was like, hey man, I was trying to book you at the such and such, man, and I had X amount of money for you, but your manager such and such turned it down. I'm like, wait, that's really my manager, so this nigga ain't lying.
I ain't even heard about
you feel what I'm saying? I ain't never even heard about that. But a motherfucker working off of what they gonna take home. You feel what I'm saying? No, I want 12,000 and that's what it is. Motherfucker got 8,500. Nigga, I need fuck this wrong with you, bitch. Did you just turn out 8,500 to come to a fucking club for an hour and a half and drink free champagne and talk shit on the mic? But a lot of times you got management that do that shit because they're not thinking about your pockets. They're thinking about their pockets.
Yeah.
And now she went from thinking about taking 15% of the 12.5 home to taking 15% of 85 home, and that didn't do it for her. Now that ain't enough for me. Bitch, what about me?
Where mine's at?
Because usually the artist got way more bills. Then, you know what I'm saying, you got, especially if you really care about your stuff, you paying for a lot of stuff. Like, my label pay for a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff I pay for myself, bro.
Like what? Marketing, campaign.
Marketing. If I want to do something that sometimes I don't feel like hitting the label trying to get them to believe in something, I just go do it myself. You feel me? I done make from the show. I just go put it in. You know what I'm saying? I just go spend it myself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't see all the expenses that you occur when you really care. Like some artists just sit back. I'm just let the label do it. The label don't do it. But I ain't coming out my pocket. I ain't that type. I go spend $500 on myself right now and believe in it. Y'all, if I want to work something, you know what I'm saying? Work something, and y'all don't believe it, or I gotta tell y'all too many times to believe in it. I'm gonna go do it myself.
How much it take to get out one song to go? How much money do you think you got to put into it for marketing and all that stuff, digital, to get a song to go to where you're going to make your 500,000 back 4, 5, 6, 7 times?
That's a difficult question because, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you may lose, you know what I'm saying, so I say you need about a good record in about 100,000, like to, you know what I'm saying, if it's a good record and everybody agrees it's a good record, and you spend 100,000 on it, it ain't work. It probably just not be record.
All right. Where do you put that 100,000? Just for the people that's listening, you know, they trying to get some game. Where would you put it?
Okay, so, alright. A lot of people don't know, like, and not just me, anybody. Anybody could do this. You go on YouTube, and you search something, and you see other stuff popping up, you know what I'm saying? Them ads, you feel me? So, YouTube is like the new radio, you know what I'm saying? Radio still big, but it's either you listening to something on YouTube or you listening to something on the radio or you listening to Apple Music or whatever. But YouTube, you get a video on YouTube, like, you put money behind ads, like, not like no 1,000 or 1,500, like, the same amount of money that you put in shooting a video, if you spend $25,000 shooting a video, put $25,000 into marketing it, because you can have the best video, but nobody's seen it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, that's what artists don't, you know, they just need the exposure. People gotta see it. A lot of times you'll drop something and people don't know it's out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if they see it, the more they see it, they're like, oh, it's out. Now it's gonna affect their streaming numbers, it's gonna affect everything. So people gotta spend more money into ads. Like people just think it's enough to just post on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Because you can have 500,000 people watching this Instagram video, you know what I'm saying? But how does that correlate to, you know, YouTube and the places where you making money? You feel like? So I spend a budget on YouTube, on Twitter ads, you know what I'm saying? Instagram ads, you know what I'm saying? Just anything that make people see your music, you feel me? I don't really spend too much on producers, like I don't really like I'm not trying to go get the hours, trying to go get the big producers, be spending all your money, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to produce myself, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta, especially when you're independent, you gotta learn how to save money on things that make you look big and spending on stuff that's gonna make you big. Because if you spending on stuff that's making you look big, then you just looking. It's just a look. Right. Nobody knows you in real life. You feel me? That's one of the things. Like, I'm bigger in person than my social media. Like, a lot of people, like, my social media is straight, but I don't really post. You know, we don't post a lot. The algorithm fuck up, all type of shit. But in person, like, people really know me. People really fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So I do 21 million streams a week. You know what I'm saying? Just off. If I don't got no music, I'm gonna do 21 million streams a week. I got my Apple artists, my Spotify, my YouTube, everything. You know what I'm saying? All my Apple artists shit, and I got 8 platinum records. You know what I'm saying? So I did $1 billion on YouTube. I just did $1 billion on Apple Music. I'm almost $1 billion on Spotify. Damn, all that didn't just come from your mind still, bro. I've been putting in work.
No. You did 1.1 billion on YouTube. Look at the numbers right there. That's YouTube Music. That's the app you go to. You see? Oh yeah. You see all your numbers.
See, we up on everything. Because
and you got 1.7 million. 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you did that many? God damn.
Yeah, and I done built that over like a little minute. And some of my videos got posted on other sites, so it ain't even counting that. It got like this. It got 120 million views. That was posted on live mixtape site, so I can't even count that to my channel. So that's another 100 million. I got other songs that load up on other people's channel that got hundreds of millions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, bro.
I mean, at the end of the day, just the reality of it is we do our homework.
Yeah.
Over here, $1 million worth of game, and we knew you this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's everybody they know trying to get on this motherfucker, and we reached out. We reached out to you because we acknowledge the work that you put in. You feel what I'm saying? We acknowledge that the hustle that you put in, and we respect it.
Yeah.
And you a young nigga on to come up, grinding, and that's what our platform is about.
Yeah.
Trying to elevate and show the people a different side of you that they might never seen. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I'm pretty sure your fans like, man, we never seen this nigga talk. That's what's up, man. He was really breaking it down, giving out some things. We're going to see him in the comments. They're going to be saying that. Because you're really educating the youth about how to do a lot of shit and how to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And that's what $1 million worth of game is about. Guidance, intention, motivation, and education.
And we see that a lot of the best young coaches are former players. Willie Green, Monty Williams, Emil Doka, Ty Lue. We could go on and on. So I think Ham is the way to go. But that said, it's going to take more than the right coach to get this team on the right track. Now, first of all, the first thing is Anthony Davis. Okay, I don't care who the coach is, what other players you bring in. If he can't play 70-plus games and be healthy for the playoffs, that's going to be a problem. So just him healthy puts him in the playoffs no matter what they do with him and LeBron, unless LeBron just falls off a cliff because of age, which I don't see happening. But Wilds, they obviously got to try to move Westbrook, and they have to add shooting. I'm not talking about great players. I'm talking about young guys that can shoot the three and have the athleticism to guard. One thing we see, the final 4 teams left in the NBA right now, they were all in the top 6 defensively. The Lakers were a horrible defensive team with Frank Vogel, whose calling card is defense. All right, they were 21st in defensive rating, and I'm surprised it was that high. It was just horrible. Couldn't stop anybody. So they got to go get some young, fresh legs, Wild. If they do nothing else personnel-wise, meaning even if they have to keep Westbrook, go get young, athletic guys that can defend and have a decent shot from behind the arc. And that will go a long way in surrounding LeBron and AD with the right pieces.
Just on a side note, it'll be interesting to see if amateur basketball, AAU, starts to really develop just 3-and-D guys. Like, I'm thinking about just not letting my kid dribble ever. It's like, hey, here's your job. Shoot threes, and then you're going to play defense. That's it. You don't need to do one ball handling skill at all. You're a catch-up three-point shooter, and you just play defense. That's it. Okay, so here's my point, and I want to give a shout-out to Max Kellerman, who first broached this idea. And when I heard it, I said, that's a good take. And then it was a seed in my brain. It grew and grew and grew. And I upgraded. I said, Max Kellerman, that's not just a great take. That's actually the solution. And it's LeBron as player coach. And now, Broussard, I think you're going to dismiss this out of hand and say 0%. And I don't think I'm going to get you to 100%, but I'm just trying to get you to maybe 10%. I'm maybe trying to get you to 8%. So here's the thing. I know the first rate, it's too much. It would be too much for LeBron to do. Maybe. Then again, Frank Vogel had 8 assistant coaches. So could LeBron be the face of the team? Be the CEO of the team? Be the leader of the team? Set the direction of the team? And then delineate all those responsibilities to 8 separate coaches? I think he could. We've also seen it happen before. There's been 40 player head coaches. Most recently, Dave Cowens. Lenny Wilkins did it, and Bill Russell famously did it, and won 2 championships, not just one. And he didn't have an assistant coaching staff like they do now. Here's the final point for some. And I think that people just want to say, like, that can't happen. But can it happen for one game? If it was an emergency, could LeBron do it for one game? Of course he could. We're not talking about being a heart surgeon, where even doing it once is out of the question. So if you can do it for one game, could LeBron do it for 10 games? Could LeBron do it once a week? I think the answer to all those is yes. So you get to a point where, like, man, well, if you could do it once a week, could he do it twice a week? It's just a matter of surrounding LeBron with the right pieces so he can maintain playing and be the coach. And the final point is this. We know that LeBron always has a leadership role, a coach-esque role. And just stop with the charade. Let LeBron be the actual coach and have a very strong vice president, if you will, to lead the team and do the detail-oriented stuff, but it's LeBron who makes the decision. So that's it. I know I'm not going to get you to 100%. I'm trying to get you to, you know what, Wiles, I'll move that to my 10% probable meter.
While you are not getting me to 1/10 of 1%. No way. And look, I'm glad, Wiles. I'm glad this isn't your take. I really am. Because, I love Max. Max is my guy. I got nothing but respect for him. I think he does a great job. But this is the worst take I've heard in a long time. It's impossible in today's NBA. For several reasons. You mentioned all the former player coaches. When was the last time you had a player coach in the NBA? The 70s. All right, the game wasn't nearly as complex then. But the game wasn't nearly as complicated then. All right? Just the film study. It's not about LeBron just showing up in film and breaking stuff down. It's about the study of the film away from the team. All right, when you're by yourself, and I know he does that individually, but to do it for every player is just too much. He's smart enough, but it's too much to put on a guy's plate. Not to mention all the various strategies. And yeah, you got coaching staff, a staff to do that. But here's the other problem, Wiles. The ego of today's players. The branding of today's individual players. They're not going for it. And obviously guys have major league respect for LeBron James. But who is the most beloved, respected basketball player in history? Michael Jordan, right? And when Michael Jordan went to Washington, his last 2 seasons, you have players in that locker room, Wiles, Jerry Stackhouse, and others, that grew up idolizing Michael Jordan. His poster on their walls. But because he kind of took on the persona of not just the great player, but a coach, he's tight with Doug Collins, he handpicked Doug Collins to be the coach. Mike was kind of like a coach persona, and the players hated it. They hated it. This like it when the player, no matter how great, is the GM too. It's the coach too. It wouldn't work together.
But also, management already down on LeBron after the Russell Westbrook fiasco. Not sure they would instill enough confidence that he would need to actually go ahead and coach his team. Oh, we gotta move on.
What happened to Jason Tatum? Will he be bounced from a superstar?
Well, song Saturday. First things first. I got this.
But just how much more is needed?
What's that? Russell Wilson has a new home. He's going to be rocking. It's incredible! Divisional playoff game! Are you kidding me? Joe Burrow! Tom Brady, quarterback duel for the ages.
All the way around.
Coronavirus bursting in tropical flavors. It's a natural-made hard seltzer paradise. Introducing the Corona Hard Seltzer Tropical Pack. It's the flavors of the fine life.
Introducing Ice Pack Pro. Ice works fast. Freeze your pain and you're down. Heat makes it last, so you never sit this one out. New Icy Hot Pro. 2 match-strength pain relievers.
It's still an Eat Fresh refresh. The Subway's refreshing everything. Like new honey mustard rotisserie style chicken. It's sweet, it's tangy, it's tender, it never misses.
You could say it's a Steph Curry of football.
You could, but I'm not gonna. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and
What's on the horizon? The answers lie beyond the roads we know. We recognize that energy demand is growing, and the world can flow of carbon solutions to keep up. At Chevron, we're working to find new ways forward through investments and partnerships and innovative solutions, like renewable natural gas from cowways, hydrogen-fueled transportation, and carbon capture. We may not know just what lies ahead, but it's only human to search for it.
Banks have free pens. Marcus by Goldman Sachs has a high-yield savings account with a rate that can be 4 times the national average. And again, free pen, even money.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire. I mean, indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
This is Ego Labs, where technology and innovation create power beyond belief. And this is the Ego Power Plus T6 riding mower with all the power it gets. To test a truly groundbreaking zero-turn mower, you unleash it on some of the most sacred ground there is. Featuring Ego's patented lithium battery technology, it cuts up to 2 acres on a single charge. That's why Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, exclusively with Lowe's, Ace, and Ego authorized dealers.
If a medicine is expensive, patients aren't going to buy it. If it's not affordable, it's banned in the pharmacy. So GoodRx is wonderful to help patients. It's definitely great for people who don't have insurance, but for people who do have insurance like me, it's great for people like that too, because I have like a high deductible insurance plan, and so, paying $100 for a medication is ridiculous, even for a doctor.
Take an afternoon break to see your next home. Or maybe the evening is better. Or maybe right after coffee. With flexible and easy ways to start scheduling a tour, there's no place like Zillow. Visit Capesa lost 33 pounds on Noom Wing. On basis, Noom gave her a psychological approach to weight loss.
Noom has taught me how to think about food has such a huge impact on your relationship with it.
Sign up for Noom Weight and lose the weight for good.
Chillin', spillin', seeing, never agreeing, smoking, broken, flipping, dipping. If you're not oozing, then you're losing. Jaded, tired, cold or high, kneeling, feeling, crying, trying to tell you spread. Put your brains together, chill, that's the spirit.
First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Built to serve.
Play a little ball on Saturday, Mookie Betts and the Dodgers battle the Diamondbacks. So you got Phillies taking on Pete Alonso and Mets, or Cubs, White Sox. All that good fun begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox and Fox Sports app. All right, time now for Wild, Weird, Wonderful. Check this out. Mets reliever, Joely Rodriguez, this weekend facing the Rockies. Apparently, the bullpen wasn't good enough. He found himself tranquility and peace and zen, perched in the stadium center field rock pile. Because that's where it all comes together. For him, that is wonderful. For us, it's a little quiet, serene. Kevin Watts, what else do you got for us?
Great. Also makes me think I need to enjoy more sunflower seeds. Oh, no. Warriors up 8 under 7. Wow. You know what? I just want to take a minute to shout out the idea of being able to challenge fouls. The idea that this may have not happened and been erased would have just been a travesty of epic proportions and a stain on the NBA.
Wow, is that an all-time foul gun? Is that one qualified?
No, it's not. It's a great dunk, but it's recency bias all over the place. It's a nice dunk, don't get me wrong. But no. Moving on to it. It's up here now, 300. Celtics Heat. Flop is step ring. PJ Tucker here, a 25-foot flop. Also, how slippery is the floor? I always assume the floor is pretty, PJ Tucker turned into like a slip and slide. And it's a game with 7 yellow paper. That's the Bruins' fault. That's the game with 17 points.
Yeah,
moving on to the wonderful.
Series. Get it together, Boston.
Avalanche Bruins, Kadri. This is a slick move. I don't see this very often. Just take the guy's stick and skate away with it. I don't think it's allowed per se, but it certainly is effective. Colorado leads the series 2-1. Moving on to weird. Yankees, White Sox, man on first. Shift is on, so Mercado bunts it down the third base line. Broussard, I've never seen this before in all my days. A bunt double. Never saw it. Guess what? Wow. Now you have it. Moving on to wonderful. Phillies, Dodgers. In the 10th, man on second. Stubbs his ball Turner here. He makes the play at first. Goes to third. Now watch this. Oh no, the ball went over my head. No, he didn't. Great play. JT Realmuto called out. Then unfortunately, the Dodgers lose about 15 minutes later with Max Muncy. Makes an error at second. And then that's it. So Phillies still end up winning. One great play, one bad play, and that's it. That's where one of them coming up.
That's like your boy Jose, Wild. That's like your boy Jose from basketball.
It is.
Cheat.
All right, here we go. We got to talk some basketball. Heat Celtics Game 3 Saturday night. Series split in a game piece coming in. Miami had something to say about that. Rebounding in a big way from that Game 2 debacle. Miami led by 26 in the first half. Jaylen Brown did everything he could to get Boston back in this. 40 points, helping the Celtics pull within 1. It wasn't enough, though. He'd hold on for a 2-1 series lead. We got to talk about Jason Tatum. 10 points on 3 of 14 shooting as he fought for a shoulder injury late in the game. Broussard, how much blame should Tatum take for this loss?
Well, a lot, Jenna, and look, if Jason Tatum doesn't get it together, I'm going to be sitting where Nick is in a few days with foot squarely in mouth, okay? So, JT, you got to get it together, my man. But I will credit him this way, Wild. He did well, right? He took the blame. Like, one thing about Jason Tatum, he would go to the podium and admit, I've got to be better. He did it after game 1. He's doing it after game 3. But I'd like him to have to quit having to do it, okay? Just go out and play well. And Wilds, it seemed like Tatum was not engaged. It's one thing to shoot poorly, and Nick brought it up last week. They're 6-0 when Tatum shoots 50% or more. So obviously, when he hits shots, they're basically unbeatable. But you're going to have nights where you miss some shots. He was 3 for 14. But, Nick, I didn't think he was engaged. And look at these first 2 turnovers that he had. They are just boneheaded mistakes. Like, pull up for the mid-range shot. That's all you have to do. Both of these. You can pull up. You have space. Just pull up. You got a nice touch for the short mid-range jumper on both of those. He had room to do it. Instead, makes bad passes. And, Nick, in the 2 quarters that really decided the game, the first quarter, they got blown away. He had, I believe, 0 points, 0 for 2, only 1 foul. So he was just out there. He wasn't even committing fouls. He was just out there floating around. And then in the fourth quarter, when they made this comeback, got within a point. He had 1 point in the fourth quarter and 3 turnovers. In fact, after Jaylen Brown got him within a point with about 2.5 minutes left, after a Bam Adebayo bucket, Tatum makes another turnover, and that was essentially the game. So he's in club superstar. I know you're not kicking him out, but he's got to be more consistent. In his C- game, Nick, they win this game. If he has his C- game, they're up 2-1.
Yeah, but listen, Tatum was obviously awful, and you mentioned he's good about taking responsibility when he's awful. You wish he wouldn't have so much practice at it. I mean, he's had a few truly terrible playoff games. Game 3 against Milwaukee was really awful. This one was somehow worse. You did mention he didn't even get called for a foul. That might not have been because of lack of intensity. That might have been because the referees decided Boston wasn't going to be called for fouls. With a minute left in this game, Boston had a 27-5 free throw. So let's go through the circumstances here. Jimmy Butler misses the entire second half. Tyler Hero's terrible. Boston is getting all of the calls. They have the emotion of home court. The added emotion of both Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum doing the best Paul Pierce imitations of, he's got a career-ending injury. Oh, wait, he's actually going to miss less time than I. They had all of that going, and they couldn't. That is a devastating loss for Boston. And maybe more importantly, at what point is the general media going to come around to the idea maybe Miami's really good? Are they going to have to be up 3-2 in the NBA Finals? Are they going to have to have hoisted the trophy before people are like, this team that won the conference 2 years ago, that was the #1 seed this year, that just won a game without their only superstar, playing in the second half on the road in Boston, maybe that team knows what they're doing. Maybe we focus a little too much, and I was guilty of this early in the playoffs as well, about where Gabe Vincent and Max Strus were or weren't drafted, and not enough of the fact that they have Victor Oladipo coming off the bench. That they split the first two, despite the fact that Bam Adebayo hadn't played well. They're up 2-1 on Boston. Kyle Lowry has played one game and didn't look up. Jimmy Butler's missed a half. Bam has only played 1 game well. Hero hasn't been great. And they're up 2-1 on Boston. I understand at times Heat culture gets irritating to hear about it, but I'm telling you right now, they've got to get credit for what they're accomplishing. So to me, this is more about Miami trying to announce to the world we're damn good than about Boston not winning.
Miami has played 2 awesome quarters, and the Celtics haven't shown up. It's not nonsense. So Tim Bontemps put this on Twitter. I said, man, is that true? And Nick, we argued about this, I think, maybe 2 years ago. You were trying to make a case on how good a series was going because one team was winning the quarters. And I was like, you know what? I'm not an arcade. I don't care about the quarters. I care about the whole game. Well, I've come around to your side now. It took me 2 years, but now I do believe in the quarters. Can you put up the graphic on how the Celtics have been playing the quarters? They've won 7 quarters. They've tied 3, and they've lost 2. Both of the quarters that they lost, now 13, have been by 20-plus points. Not great, but after that, they're either in it, playing to eat it, or they're winning. So there's a feeling when you watch these games, if you didn't watch those 2 quarters, which are terrible, most of the game, the Celtics are playing better than the Heat. Look, it is what it is. They're down. I get it. The Heat deserve all the credit. But there's been 2 quarters where the Celtics did not show up. But outside of that, the Celtics are playing better basketball than the Heat.
Hang the banner. We've won 2 quarters. We've won 10 out of 12 quarters. Hang the banner. I understand Boston hasn't been able to hang many banners in the last 35 years. You're right. We did argue about the importance of quarters in NBA playoff games. Most notably, how you end quarters. Like in yesterday's Mavs Warriors game, at the end of the first half, it was a massive his moment and step up, terrible shot, and then Luke hits the three. It ended up not mattering. But I think ending the way you end quarters is critical. But that graphic is so misleading. It's like, I've only had 2 moving violations in the last 12 years. Oh, really? You must be a pretty good driver. What happened in there? Well, I drove into houses. A car flipped over, I wrecked that. Like, when you've lost 2 quarters so bad
with the house
that it has directly caused you to lose both games, that is not well.
Yeah, that's right. One quarter by 7 and then lost by 4, lost by 3, lost by... That's not what's happening. They have let go of the rope and given up the game. In the third quarter of game 1 and in the first quarter of game 3. And this idea that we're counting quarter wins now as a way to find a way to justify that Boston's better. When Miami was better in the regular season, Miami's been more injured and is better in this postseason. Like, what do you want from them? What more? My question to Blue is this, because Blue, you said this was going to be the Celtics' easiest series. What does Miami have to do to prove to you and others they're good? I'm just curious.
Did I say that? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you said it was going to be their easiest
It's definitely not their easiest series. That's the one thing I take back from last week. I'm hanging in there with Celtics in 6. I still think they can win the series, but can they do it in 6? But look, Nick, they're going to have to... The thing with them is this. They're not your typical championship-type team. Jimmy Butler, is he a superstar? Is he just a star? Even if he, whatever you call him, he came from he averaged 2 points as a rookie. Right? He's the 30th pick in the draft. And you don't generally see guys like that lead teams to championships. And then around him, like you mentioned, Struz and Vincent, not even drafted. P.J. Tucker, second-round pick. So that's what we're seeing. But look, I think that Wilds, and I often say both of you are wrong on this show. I don't think I've ever said this. Both of you are right. Wilds is right, Nick. Boston is the better team. And the fact that they have won 7 of the quarters, or tied 10 of the 12, shows that. But Nick, you were right in that Deontay Wilder got outboxed by many people. But he had that one right hand that if he catches you in round 7 or round 9 or round 4, whatever, doesn't matter what happened for the other round. He caught you with the knockout blow, and that's what Miami's been able to do twice in this series.
Just quickly, I just want to apologize to the audience. I've talked to my internet people. It's kind of weird what's going on. They said I should have a crystal clear connection for every time we talk Heat Celtics. But when we're doing Mavs or the Lakers nonsense, it could come and go. So I don't know what's happening exactly. I'm looking at Spectrum. It's weird what's happening, but on Heat Celtics, I should be golden the rest of the world. We'll see about the Mavs segment.
I'm glad we got that. Hey, we just saw Wiggins dunk a few minutes ago. Luka was asked about it after the game. This is great. Take a listen to what he had to say.
That was impressive, man. That's really good. That was pretty incredible. I wish I had big ones.
He felt like seltzer hard soda. You thought it was like cola? Wow, that's rough. What just happened? Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. Loudest flavors ever. I saw them everywhere. They had savor's remorse. And so did I. I made a quick decision on auto, home, and life insurance. But was the coverage okay? Would that company come through when I really needed them? Then I found Amica.
Avoid savor's remorse when you discover Amica. We're owned by our customers, not investors. So we focus on your best interests. That's why Amica was named one of America's best insurance companies by Forbes. This is auto, home, and life insurance you can feel confident about. Call for a quote.
Banks actually pays. Marcus by Goldman Sachs has a heightened savings account with a rate that can move 4 times the national average. And again, sleep in. There's no excuses. If you want something bad enough, you will do it.
The determination and the focus that it takes. If you're not all in, you're all out.
You have to really dig down deep, and you gotta find that grit.
Use that determination and that drive. Never give up.
It's the hottest seller's market in years. If you're thinking of selling your home, your first step is to find out how much it's worth today. But where do you start? Introducing HomeLight, the essential real estate platform for selling your home. HomeLight will give you a free home valuation and match you with top local real estate agents in your neighborhood who will provide you a complimentary market analysis. HomeLight uses the same tools banks and lenders use, and HomeLight is backed by the nation's best real estate experts. Find out how much your home is worth for free at HomeLight.com.
When I go for a ride, no matter how perfect the momentum, the rotation, it all comes down to one thing. Tires you can trust.
Michelin, motion for life.
Did you know GoodRx can help you get a better price on your family's prescriptions?
I just open the app, type in the name of our meds, that's it. Save us on my app and medication. All right, round two, baby, round two. Savings on my husband's blood pressure refills. And savings on my daughter's allergy pills.
Prescription savings.
Hi, I'm Jack from Nuts.com. When my grandfather started this business in 1929, he relied on four important values: freshness, quality, variety, and service. I'm proud to carry on his legacy, but from a bigger space. We still freshly roast, season, and dip delicious nuts here in New Jersey and deliver them with the freshest dried fruits, snacks, and sweets to families that love our products all around the country, including mine. We think you'll love Nuts.com too, so check us out and enjoy free shipping on your first order.
Browsing the web without NordVPN could mean sharing your personal data with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and protect your sensitive data from being spied on. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
On Saturday, the New Orleans Breakers take on Jeff Fisher's Michigan Panthers. Kickoff 9 Eastern on FS1. Then on Sunday, the league-leading Birmingham Stallions take on the Pittsburgh Maulers. 2 Eastern. Only on Fox. All right, so that's a look ahead. Let's take a quick look back at the best of Week 6. Nick, start us off with the best big man touchdown.
Oh, look at this. Gamblers Generals and Gamblers defense forces. Oh, look at him go. Tomasi Lelele, scoop and score. That's 6'3", 300+ pounds coming right at you. That's going to be the best big man touchdown of the year, would be my guess for the USFL.
Giving the people a chance to take in her undeniable. Well, my Generals in action. Here they are driving in the fourth journey. They're calling this the Philly Jersey Special. Cameron Eccles-Looper takes the reverse, throws it back to quarterback Luis Perez for a key first down. Generals punching in as time expired to beat Nick's Gamblers. I'm with it.
Wow, that's concentration.
Embracing her adoring
Stallions, Panthers. Birmingham's Marlon Williams calls in the catch, loses the helmet, helps the Stallions improve to 6-0, only undefeated team.
This title is to not just the defending champion, but the entire
Very nicely done. All right, we head back to the NBA. We got Antoine Walker with us. Antoine, talking some Warriors match. Avery Dallas needed this one in the worst way, trying to avoid a 3-0 hole. We know no team's ever come back from one of those in the playoffs. But Luka did his part, 40 points, 11 boards. So did Steph, 31 for him. So did Andrew Wiggins, 27. For him, the Golden State now just one game away from the finals, one win away. Nick, of course, though, we got to start with you. How in the world did you get this one so wrong?
Okay, well, let's just pause on me getting this wrong until the series is over. I did pick Mavs in 5. They're not going to win in 5, obviously. They're not going to win in 6. The series, however, is not over. And if we're taking on the series as a show, if the Warriors do end up winning, Are we not going to do the Nick was wrong victory lap then because we're doing it now? I'm just like, is this the show we're doing it? Or are y'all trying to double down on it? It's a little Schadenfreude.
We'll do it again. We'll do it twice.
Okay, guys. So here's the thing, Antoine. I look at this series, and Game 2 was obviously the pivot point. The Mavs blew it, and that it's hard to recover from that type of loss, and they didn't recover from it yesterday. But I thought Poole would be mediocre. He's been mediocre. I thought Clay would not be very good. He hasn't been very good. Steph's been good, but he hasn't been amazing the way I said he would have to be in order for them to win the series. And Draymond, the best thing that happened to the Warriors in Game 2 was Draymond fouling out. So why have the Warriors won over? Devon Looney has been able to do what Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton were not. Punish the Mavs for playing small. Punish the Mavs for going small and be able to kill them on the offensive glass and score efficient. And then the one that really hurts me. Because this is a guy that I've been critical of. This is a guy who, when the Warriors traded for him, I said it was going to prevent them from ever making another NBA Finals because I thought the trade was so dumb, and now I look so dumb. Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins has been excellent. He's been efficient on offense. He's been a bulldog on defense. That dunk on Luka's head, even, he's just an added bonus. But Devon Looney and Andrew Wiggins averaging a combined 35, 17, and 7 on 60-some% shooting. The Mavs have had no answer for it. They didn't anticipate it. I didn't either. So that's what I think I got most wrong, was that those two guys would dominate their roles the way they have, and that's why the Warriors won.
Well, look, I didn't think that this series will be looking at a possible sweep, or even a gentleman's sweep. I thought the Mavs could possibly take them 6. Out of respect for your guy, Luka, and what he's able to do on the offensive end and carry a team. And he's been great offensively. You got 2 40-point games. You wouldn't think you'll be down in Series 03. But it goes back to what I started with. I started talking about the series. It's about the others. I just don't trust those other guys in the Western Conference Finals to deliver for 4 wins. The Reggie Bullocks, the Benny Smiths, the Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie. Those guys, I don't believe can get it done consistently throughout this playoff. Throughout the Western Conference Finals, to be able to advance and get past a team like Golden State, who's going to be very disciplined, who plays together. You've got 3 veteran guys who've been there and been in this position many a time, and it's coming out in this showing right now. Gotta give credit, obviously to Steve Kerr, forcing the guys back to stay small, and then Kevin Looney and obviously Andrew Wiggins, you got that right. I've been terrific. Andrew Wiggins has given up 40-point games twice back-to-back. You'll think, man, he's getting killed in this series, but he's actually been great. Just forcing Luka into tough shots, not making it super easy for him, but making them work on the defensive end. This is the question mark. We talk about the great players in the league. We talk about we want to put Luka in that conversation with LeBron James, KD, Giannis, because he does not play both ends of the floor. And this is what's coming out. He hasn't played defense this series, and he hasn't done it. And it can be simple things, just block it out. And obviously put so much energy and effort on the offensive end and create offense for those guys. That's what happened. And Golden State is the same team we saw when they won that great run. 25 to 30 assists, 6, 7 guys in double figures. Steph Curry he has been great, but he's been aggressive. He's not allowed to get out to bad shooting spots of Memphis players that all. You got to give him a lot of credit. He stayed aggressive throughout this whole playoff. So this is a tough matchup for him. The Mavs have learned a lot, and they'll be able to move on from this series and build going to the future. But this is a tough series for them.
You broke it down well, Twan, and let me go back to Nick, because Nick is smart. Nick is like, you know what? Let me get out in front of this thing. I kill myself for doubting before anyone else can kill me. But I'm not letting you get off that easy, Nick, because you were completely down on Andrew Wiggins, and I was completely up on Andrew Wiggins. Because here's the thing about Andrew Wiggins. You did, and here's the thing about Wiggins. He has the talent. I think you would agree with me. The talent of a number one, the game of a number two, but the personality and demeanor and motor of a number 3 or 4. All right, so when he went to the Warriors, I agree. In Minnesota, he was disappointed, even though he averaged 20 points for 3 years. But when he went to the Warriors, and they've done a great job with this, I thought he would be perfect in the role of third or fourth scorer. Now with Pool's emergence, he's a fourth scorer. And he can focus on defense. He's what, the fourth or fifth best player. Remember they did this with Andre Iguodala. Iguodala in Philadelphia early in his career, he was supposed to be the predecessor, following Allen Iverson's footsteps and be the number one guy. And that wasn't the role for him. But when he went to teams, Denver, the Warriors, and became like a role player, he's been fantastic. And it's the same thing with Andrew Wiggins. And I'm not surprised to see him shining in this role because he can focus on defense, and then you have to pay so much attention to Steph and Clay and Jordan Poole that Wiggins can just do his thing offensively. His credit, he has improved his three-point shot. But Wiggins he's in the perfect role for himself in Golden State Warriors.
It's a great take. Thank you for all take on the product. That's perfect. The series is over. Everybody knows it except for Brett. Here's Luka's quote. I think after this season is done, I think we're going to look back and learn a lot of things. Still got another game. Here's Jason Kidd. This is just the beginning of this journey. Okay, it's over. The math is over. It's okay for you to say that. I think you pick the room up this segment, but it's okay to say it's over. So let's move forward. What are the Mavs going to do? Because, Nick, you have what I'm referring to as a toothache of a take. And a toothache take is this. You know something is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay, Luka's scoring too much. And then it just goes away. Like, wow, looks like my toothache healed itself during the Suns series. And then all of a sudden you have a little bit of ice cream and it hits a nerve and, that is back in a bad way. Luka scored 40 points. Luka scored 40 points and they have now been 2 and 6 in those games. Dusty made a beautiful graphic here that says out of the 71 guys who have scored 40 or more twice in the playoffs, Luka joined some great names. He's 2 and 6. Magic was 1 and 3. Duncan was 1 and 3. The thing is, they didn't do that all the time. That was an aberration of their game. Russ a little more. Is that the best? So, are you willing to say that this is still the right path for the Mavs? That Luka has to keep taking L's?
Because keep taking L's. See, this I won't allow. I won't allow the revisionist history of Luka. The take was 2 weeks ago. When they're down 2-0 and they're going to get swept by the Suns, the gentleman swept and the Drake swept, that Luka was actually part of the problem rather than the solution. And now, because they've lost 2 games where he has scored 40, where if you watch these games, I'm just curious, when you watch either of these games, at any point while watching, did you say Luka shouldn't? Or was Luka making amazing behind-the-head passes to open three-point shooters, and they were just missing? When I say you're looking at it wrong, my point is this. Luka, the reason they have a losing record when Luka scores 40 plus, it's not because he scores 40 plus, it's because he takes on more of a scoring load when his teammates don't have it. His initial inclination, much like LeBron, is get other guys going. But if other guys won't get going, the only way to stay in the game is for him to score. And so it's much like Magic or Duncan on that list. Russ is a separate issue. Magic or Duncan were not guys that often would say, I must go get huge numbers. But in a playoff game, if their teammates didn't have it, they would try to carry the load there, usually in adverse circumstances. So a guy who is averaging 35 points on good efficiency and leading his team in rebounds and leading his team in assists and leading his team in steals is not the issue. The issue is that Maxi Kleber is shooting 14% from 3 and Reggie Bullock just went 0 for 10. Those guys are getting their shots. They're not making it. That's just not. You're not watching these games. I know you're not, and saying, "Oh, Luka's shooting the ball too much." I know that's not what you're doing.
Well, it was another big night for Luka, but it was also another loss as they find themselves down 0-3. All right, Let's Head East is tonight a must-win for the Boston Celtics. Twan, we're breaking it down next. First things first.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40...
Let me guess. Less energy? Less drive?
Definitely. It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age. Happen to you guys?
Yeah.
So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T. To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text SURGE to 231-231. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text for a complimentary bottle. And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text SURGE to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's SURGE to 231-231.
Expectations come with the territory, but raising expectations, that comes with determination, pushing ourselves further, and knowing that recognition isn't given, it's earned. Ram, J.D. Power's #1 brand in new vehicle quality. No wonder more people are switching to Ram than ever before.
Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on the 2022 Ram 1500.
Banks have free pens. But Marcus by Goldman Sachs has a high-yield savings account with a rate that can earn you 4 times the national average. But then again, free pen, you got money.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
Yo, dude, you need some help?
Don't worry about me.
Yo, there's no shame.
No shame. You don't know my family, man.
It's okay to ask for help. Find a licensed therapist at BetterHelp.com.
One of NASCAR's greatest judo races, the day of tribute.
I know this looks like your typical narrow escape, but it's not. This is a Nissan sales event ad. Now we're talking. Good thing this Nissan Rogue is a standard turbocharged jet. Get 1.9% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
Hurry. You don't want to let these offers get away.
Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. See your Bay Area Buick GMC dealer.
You'll love the neighborhood. Everyone here is so friendly.
Oh, hi, I'm Incredible. If you need any help, just let me know. Babysitting, borrowing clothes, finding a great rate on your mortgage.
You wear clothes?
Uh-oh.
It's either credible or it's not.
First things first, back here with Antoine Walker. All right, Twan, talking Heat Celtics. Game 3 from Saturday night. I think you were there. I think I was watching a live Instagram feed of you at the game. I thought you would say hi to me. We'll talk about it later. Miami, more than making up for their lack of everything in Game 2. They led by 26 in the first half. Jaylen Brown did everything he could to get Boston re-engaged. 40 points to help them pull within 1. You saw it. Wasn't enough. Heat hold on to win. They're now up 2-1 in this series. Antoine, spin it forward for us. Is tonight a must-win for your Boston Celtics?
Well, let me address that, Jenna. Yes, I was at the game, sitting on the floor, a place where I offered all you guys, you can go to either Boston or Miami and enjoy a nice game sitting on the floor. But that option, that's still open to you guys if you want to go. But I had to show you first that it really does happen, and you're gonna be right there, courtside.
You were there.
See all the action.
You were right there, taken care of.
That was a perfect sight.
Next time, say hi to me. Yep.
I didn't see it. I wouldn't say hi. But no, this is a must-win. It's unfortunate that you would think this would be a must-win right on Game 4 for the Celtics. But they have to tie this up. They cannot afford to go down 3-1 and have to go back to Miami. Miami's too good of a team for them to be able to win 3 in a row. So that's what makes it a must-win situation. First, they got to get healthy. I left that game feeling like, I saw several Celtics players leaving the court, having to go to the bag, coming back and obviously getting through it and getting through the game. But are they going to get healthy enough? I thought the absence of Robert Williams was really big in Game 3. And is he going to come back in Game 4 when you look at what Bam Adebayo was able to do inside and get himself going and attacking the basket? And also, you got to look at this Heat team makes adjustments continuously as the game goes along. And I talked about this, and I wanted to make a big point, and I thought we was downplaying it, but I thought Kyle Lowry being back out there was huge for them. Now, his numbers were not great. He got 11 points, but I thought he made some gutsy plays. I think his leadership on the floor, directing that team and defensively kind of spearheading the defensive attack was huge for them as well. So this is a must-win for the Celtics. And it's really predicated on if they make shots from the three-point line. This is something that we've seen all season long. When they make threes, they play great. And can they go out and have a big 20, 25-point performance from the three? Make 20, 25 threes. Let's see if they can get back in this series.
Well, Twan, they certainly should approach it like it's a must-win. They should have approached Game 3 like that as well. And I get it. You're right. I mean, you don't want to go back to Miami down 3-1. It's just tough enough to come back from that type of deficit as it is. But I'm going to say I would not completely write them off if they lost tonight. Now, it would be tough. I get it. They would be in a huge hole. Not a 3-0 hole like some teams, but they would be in a huge hole. All right, and that'd be tough to come out of. But they showed us, who thought, other than me, who thought that they could go to Milwaukee down 3-2 and still win that series? So, I wouldn't write them off. But, Nick, what I will say is this is the first series that they've been in this season, this postseason, where they look like the team that's not as physical. They look like the team that's not as mentally tough. And I don't think that's the case, but in these first 3 games, that's how it's looked, or at least 2 of those 3 games. So they have to make, one of the biggest adjustments they need to make is the attitude adjustment. Because when you lose to Miami, when Jimmy Butler sits out the whole second half, that's not, to me, about on the court so much as what's going on in your head. And I talked about it, we'll talk about it later. Jason Tatum just wasn't engaged, wasn't himself. And so they need to make sure they come out and bring their A game. Because if they bring their A game, I think their A game is clearly better than Miami's, especially with, we don't know what we're going to get from Jimmy Butler. We don't know what we're going to get from based on them having 2 legitimate stars in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Al Horford is a cagey veteran. Marcus Smart is the defensive player of the year. Based on all of that, the #1 defense in the league, need I go on?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's evidence that Boston is the better team.
They beat Milwaukee, the defending champion.
I understand, but Miami beat Milwaukee in the playoffs 2 years ago. Before, I don't know what would have happened in a Heat Bucks series. I do know I absolutely disagree with you on as far as I think the 3rd best player in this series is Bam, not Brown. I know Jalen had 40 points. He also had 7 turnovers. I think Bam is a more impactful basketball player than Jaylen Brown, even though he didn't play well in games 1 and 2. He obviously had the monster performance in game 3. Wilds, I do think this is a must-win for Boston. I don't think you're winning 3 in a row against the number 1 seed Heat, including game 5 and game 7 in Miami. My question to you, though, is do they need to win the game, or is it okay if they just win 3 of the 4 quarters? Because if they win 3 of the 4 quarters but lose the game, then they'll be leading the quarters 10-3 with 3 ties. Like, I'm just curious because we're doing some weird math here. Celtics fans were complaining about officiating in a game where it was 28-5 free throws with a minute left. What? They weren't? I'm sorry.
No, I'm on your side. Celtics fans need to be quiet about the ref. Don't start blaming the refs. Okay?
Yeah, especially when you have the refs in your pocket like a lucky charm for the entirety of the second half of game 3. But I'll set that aside. Yeah, they have to win tonight. Vegas says they're 7-point favorites because nobody respects the Heat. And I wouldn't be shocked at all, obviously, if Boston wins tonight. I picked Heat 7. I think it's going to be a very good series. But with Lowry coming back and Jimmy Butler, I think, going to play, and Jimmy's thing was weird, him not coming out to the bench for the second half, the whole thing was odd. But I think Boston absolutely has to win.
Yeah, they have to win, and I expect they will win, and I expect that we see superstar Jason Tatum back.
The game
I know Tatum has disappeared a few times for the whole game. Don't forget, he had 10 points. I get it. Not great. Also had 10 points game 3 in Milwaukee. And what did he do for the rest of the series? 30, 34, 46, 23. True superstar. And here's why I'm so optimistic, and I know this gets Heat fans mad, Jenna, but I really believe it, and it also speaks to the quarter differential, how well the Celtics have played. The Celtics have beat themselves. On those quarters when they lose by 20 points, they are beating themselves. Okay, I get it. Victor Oladipo played well. But Tatum took himself out of that game. The Heat did well to sort of push him over there, but then he joined. He's like, all right, I guess I'm out of the game. He will not do that from here on out. I think he's learned and he's got to be engaged the whole time. They're not going to lose the game by 20.
Did Brooklyn beat themselves, or did Boston take it? Did Boston out-physical them, out-top them, Okay, so can we give Miami the same credit? Can we give Miami the same credit? Okay, all right, fair enough. No problem.
The answer
You do beat yourself.
All right, we'll talk about this again. We got to head out west, talk some Lakers. Are they going back to the drawing board on their head coach search? We'll tell you who's in the mix. And
I think my internet's going out again.
USFL football continues with another electrifying weekend. Saturday on FS1, the Quakers battle the Panthers. And Sunday on Fox, the Stallions take on the Maulers. Real football for real fans. The USFL, Saturday and Sunday on FS1 and Fox.
I'm gonna need like 10 egg McMuffin sandwich things.
Night or the next morning, you can look. Every order earns points redeemable for free McDonald's when you order with the McDonald's app.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs doesn't treat investing like a game. We have digitally managed portfolios backed by over 150 years financial experience. So, play games or have your money work smart. You can money.
If you can choose to be kind to your body with this bar made with almonds, imagine what other kind choices you can make.
A farmer has solved world hunger.
But I don't know anything about farming.
Or you could start by doing something small. Live kind.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone. Ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
latest hashtag challenge, and everyone on social media is trying me. I'm trending so hard that hashtag common sense can't keep up. This is going to get tens and tens of views. But if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, you could be left to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less. Small business owners know they've got to be prepared for anything. You gotta be prepared! And when you use Constant Contact, prepare accordingly. Let's send this. Let's sell this. Let's win this. With email marketing and more to drive your business forward. Try it free at ConstantContact.com.
Baby, you're perfect, and I wanna get in. Can I get down so I can reach? I like the way you work it. No easy. I thought you bag it out you. I like the way you work it.
Fiverr freelancers developed my app exactly as I envisioned. All I did was log on, I found freelancer, I picked the one that fit my budget, and one that had great reviews. Join Fiverr today and get something going.
I never imagined this is where my career would take me. The challenges I face and the feeling you get when you overcome them. Buying a house is no different. It's better with a winning team in your corner. That's why I chose HomeLight. HomeLight connected me with the absolute best agents to help me find the home of my dreams at an amazing price and on my terms.
HomeLight does it on my terms, and best of all, it's simple and free. Get started today at HomeLight.com.
First things first, back here with Antoine Walker. All right, Antoine, talk some Lakers now. According to multiple reports, they have narrowed their head coach search down to Terry Stotts, Darvin Ham, and Kenny Atkinson. So the other name that was floating out there, especially this weekend, Michigan's Juwan Howard, reportedly says, no, I'm good. He's got no interest in the job. Some say it's because he wants to stick around, coach his sons. Howard's wife says it's more than just that. She tweeted this. I also wish they would stop making it about his sons. He's excited to coach everything here. He wants to win a championship. All right, Twan, a lot of rumors out there. Do you even think a new coach will be enough to even get him back to title contention? Does it come down to the head coach?
Well, I think you got to have a good head coach. But I think, one, to address the Juwan Howard situation, I think, for Juwan, I think people got to understand it. I don't think it's about his sons. I think it's about a dream job. He's living a dream right now. He's coaching his alma mater, and it's tough to leave that to go to a Lakers situation with LeBron James being at the end of his career and the second best player, Anthony Davis, on the team, hasn't played a full season. I don't think you would want to be there, because that could be a job that ends in 3 years, where in Michigan he could probably be there the next 15 years. So I think that's what he's looking at, the long-term situation of that, and Juwan's done a terrific job at Michigan. I think moving forward, I hate when I hear the same coaches being recycled, and you guys have heard me say that a lot. That's not a knock on Terry Stotts, and he should get another chance. Kenny Anderson, those guys. But I would like to see Darvin Ham get this job. I think he's a guy that's coached the best player in the world the last couple of years in Giannis, so we've kind of given him that title. Has been the best player in the league. He's coached him. They've won an NBA title. And guys have a lot of respect for him in the league. I think that's what people got to understand. I think LeBron James and AD would respond to a Darvin Ham. So I don't know what's the holdup, because we always want to recycle the same coaches, put them back in play, and not give another young coach an opportunity to coach in this league. And that's the thing that bothers me so much about, especially like the Lakers. You tried all those guys. Give a guy a chance, opportunity. It's obviously he's in the finals list, so he's impressed you. But give him a chance. And, I don't know if this is a situation where LeBron James or AD have to sign off on it, but I hope Darvin Ham gets an opportunity to do it. I'm just tired of the recycling of the same coaches. Let's get some of these new coaches and new players an opportunity to coach some of these franchises.
I agree with a lot of what Antoine said. Of the names on that list, Darvin Ham, to me, clearly be number one. I also think Kenny Atkinson did a really good job in Brooklyn, but that was like a young, upstart team, very different coaching LeBron and Anthony Davis, and I don't have much interest in Terry Stotts. I suppose he's better than if Doc Rivers were, still an alleged candidate. But The issue, while Frank Vogel didn't do a good job this past year with the Lakers, when you're looking at the Lakers, and I saw this question, it was just it resonated even further, that the guy who should have been fired didn't get fired in Rob Pelinka. Because you watch these conference finals rounds, and all these teams have young, athletic wings and have shooters. And then there's the Lakers. Their best wing, we can go you or whoever you want to go, Brew. You can go. Their best wing is going to be in year 20. Like their most athletic wing is going to be in year 20. Who's the best shooter? My guy Wayne Ellington, who didn't even play because he doesn't do anything else well. And so I look at the West next year. And I'm going to do this off the top of my head, but I think it's right. I think we can assume Phoenix, Golden State, Dallas, Denver, and the Clippers will all be excellent. I mean, Phoenix might not be as good as they were this year, but they'll still be excellent. Dallas is young and getting better. We'll see what they do with Jalen. Denver and the Clippers both have major injured players coming back, right? You also have to assume, I think, New Orleans and Minnesota are on the upswing. Well, I've listed 7 teams. So do I think the Lakers are going to be in playoff contention next year? Yes, of course. If LeBron and AD play anything close to a full season, they'll be a playoff team. But they don't. Remember that press conference LeBron gave after Milwaukee waxed them? He was like, yeah, I could have told you we weren't on their level before this game. I don't see how and why that's changing. And I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
Yeah, look, I'll make it a trifecta. I do think Darvin Ham, of the 3 last candidates they have, he should be the guy. No doubt about it. And you know him, Twan. I know him from when he played in the league. He's got a really strong presence. Guys will respect him, no doubt about it. Championship staff, obviously, in Milwaukee. But, Nick, I agree. Like, we all have talked about Russell Westbrook. And, yes, if I'm running the Lakers, I'm trying to get rid of Russ. But whether I can or can't, I've still got to bring in some young guys with fresh legs who can guard. One thing we see is the final 4 teams left in the playoffs right now, they were all in the top 6 defensively. The Lakers were in the bottom 10, like 21st out of 30 teams defensively. I'm surprised it was even that high. All right, they cannot guard because they got so many older guys. So they got to get youth. And I'm not talking about great players. I mean, heck, you saw the impact Stanley Johnson had just because he's young and could actually, if he put his mind to it, stay in front of somebody. So they got to get young players, whether they're great or not, that can go out there and defend. All right, and then you've got to add some shooters as well. So maybe in the Russ trade, can you get some of that? We'll see. But no matter who the coach is, the keys for them is AD playing 70-plus games or 70 or so games and being healthy going into the playoffs, LeBron healthy in the playoffs, and then youth and shooting around them, Wilds.
All right, so I think that's a good take. I think I agree. If Darvin Ham becomes the coach, I think that is a good for him, and the Lakers are probably better off than they were this year. But Max Kellerman had a take, it was weeks ago, that has sat with me and sat and grown and grown. And I was like, you know what, Max? You're right. LeBron James should be a player coach. And this idea has been dismissed. Oh my goodness. Okay. The attitude towards LeBron James being the head coach of the Lakers should not be the same attitude as LeBron James being a heart surgeon or LeBron James being a pilot. Like, hey, LeBron James, brand news, the pilot's, had a heart attack. LeBron, can you fly the plane? Probably not. Oh, LeBron, can you have intestinal surgery? Can LeBron do it? Probably not. Can LeBron coach the Lakers? Of course he can. There's been 40 player coaches in the history of the league. It can certainly be 41. Bill Russell won 2 championships. Can he be the mold for LeBron? Of course. Lenny Wilkins did it. Dave DeBusschere did it. Dave Cowens did it in 1978. Not 1878, 1978 Dave Cowens did it. Wild. It's the same thing. What, the basketball? Beach basket.
Wild.
It's the same game.
Wait a minute.
It's the same game. No, let me say it. And I understand the idea. Oh, the game is so complicated now. Surely LeBron couldn't figure it out. He's a genius. Of course he can figure it out. And he already has figured it out. So the head coach that you have in there right now, or at any point, is largely a figurehead that because LeBron is running the show. Of course he could do it with an army of assistants who would make his job almost easier. And I'm not saying a traditional CEO role where you have to make every decision. I'm talking about a Steve Jobs type role where you create the vision for the team.
Roll the animation.
Roll on. No, it's
No,
you can't go break.
He's never going to stop if we don't run the highway.
I'm still not going to stop, Jack.
All right.
It makes total sense.
Want your clothes to smell freshly washed all day without heavy perfumes? Try Downy Light In-Wash Freshness Boosters. It has long-lasting light scent, no heavy perfumes, and no dyes. Finally, a light scent that lasts all day. Downy Light.
Popeye's new Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwich is here to sauce things up. The internet's favorite chicken sandwich now comes with zesty buffalo and creamy ranch sauce. Spread on brioche buns with crunchy pickles and juicy chicken breasts. Try it today.
Chicken from Popeyes.
Unless you treat dandruff regularly, it will keep coming back. Try Head & Shoulders. It contains zinc glutathione, which fights the germ that causes dandruff, and when used regularly, helps prevent it from coming back. For up to 100% dandruff protection, use Head & Shoulders.
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
Question for you, Snoop D-O-double-G. What are we doing today?
Just living the fine life, baby.
Great. I love that. Just blocking off my calendar.
You know that real quick. Best plans or no plans?
You know what, Snoop D-O-double-G? I think you might be right.
I know I am, Andy. And you can just call me Snoop.
You got it, Snoop.
D-O-double-G.
You could only eat one thing the rest of your life, what would it be?
Easy. Buffet.
Pretty sure that's not one thing.
Barbecue buffet.
A buffet is the complete opposite of one.
Okay, a barbecue ribs buffet. With fries and barbecue chicken on the side.
Make sure every stop on your road trip is one you want to make. Come in for an oil change and tire rotation starting at $29.99 and get road trip ready at Midas.
Banks have free pens. But Marcus by Goldman Sachs has a high-yield savings account with a rate that can earn you 4 times the national average. But then again, free pen, you good money.
New Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda.
Classic cola. Wow, that's wow flavor.
What just happened? Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. Loudest flavors ever. Sensational! Copa champion Argentina. Girard champion Italy. So, La Finalissima. Tuned first on FS1.
I know this looks like your typical narrow escape, but it's not. This is a Nissan sales event ad. Now we're talking. Good thing this Nissan Rogue is a standard turbocharged engine.
Get 1.9% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
Hurry. You don't want to let these offers get away.
Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. See your Bay Area Buick GMC dealer. First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Built to serve.
Fellow Saturday Saturday baseball coming up. Mookie Betts and the Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks, or Phillies taking on Pete Alonso and the Mets, or you got some Cubs, White Sox. It all begins Saturday, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Wild's Weird and Wonderful. Check out Mets reliever Joely Rodriguez this weekend facing the Rockies. His version of getting mentally prepped for what he needs to do when he needs to do it. Bullpen, not the right place for him. He found a nice tranquil perch in the stadium center field rock pile, obviously. Kevin Wilds, what else you got for us?
Very peaceful morning. Warriors up 8. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine calling a foul on this? They're just like, you know what? Something great is happening. I'm going to try to ruin it. Like Hubs rolling the commercial on me when I was trying to explain why LeBron would be the obvious coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Warriors win. They take a 3-0 lead. Substitute. Steph range flop. Antoine, this is ridiculous. Also, Antoine, I'm glad you make it. You were at this game. I didn't realize the floor was this slippery. If you stepped on the court, you could have twisted an ankle. PJ Tucker, like a slip and slide out there. It also has 17 points and 1 heavy block. Heat win. Moving on to the wonderful Avalanche Blues. I was locked into this one. Kadri, just give me your stick. Take that. What? He got my stick. That's not allowed. Yeah, it is. I got your stick. Colorado leads this series 2-1. I would do this one all the time if I played hockey, but I can't ice skate. Moving on to weird. Yankees, White Sox, man on first. Shift is on, so Moncado bunts it down the third base line. And never seen this before. The rare bunt double. You didn't think it would happen or work, but it does. It's very similar to LeBron James coaching the Lakers. Certainly I couldn't get a bunt for a double. Like, yeah, you know what? Actually, if you try it, it totally works perfectly.
All right, if he says it again,
Phillies,
you gotta cut his mic.
It's a ball of turn.
If he does it a third time,
it's all the way to third. Here's the interesting part. Boom! It's a fake out. I still got it. Look, I can do both. I can catch the ball, but fake you out. Just like this whole coaching search of the Lakers is one big fake out.
All right, enough. Cut his mic. I'm not joking. Jenna, go.
Down to LeBron James.
Jenna, the weird wonderful's over. It's over.
You love the
Literally almost over.
Jose Alvarez.
No, it has
The Dodgers end up losing on that era. And that's the weird wonder over in the National Pastime.
Turn it up. Smack a little bit. Well, right here talking some Heat. Celtics, Game 3, Miami. More than making up for what happened in Game 2. They jumped out to a 26-point lead in the first half. Jaylen Brown did his best for Boston. His 40 points helped the Celtics pull within 1 late. It wasn't enough, though. Heat win. They hold on for a 2-1 series lead. How about Jason Tatum? 10 points, 3 of 14 shooting as he fought through a shoulder injury late in the game. We got Antoine Walker with us. Antoine, how much blame should Tatum take for this loss?
He should take a lot of the blame. And Jason Tatum has to figure out, and we talked about this as we watched him throughout the playoffs, is everything with Tatum has sometimes been predicated on whether or not he makes his three-point shot. And he has to figure out different ways for him to score and not rely so much on his jump shot. And that's getting to the basket and also being a willing passer. We saw early in the season where he was not willing to be a willing passer, and his game turned around once he started trusting his teammate. And he slipped back into that mode in Game 3 when he got double-teamed, not really wanting to pass, and led to a bad turnover. But sitting there watching the game, Tatum has to diversify his game. And what I mean by that, you don't have to be a great post-up player, but he has to make the game come a lot easier to him, especially now when you're playing against the best defensive teams. We had the excuse against Milwaukee because Giannis and Brook Lopez were long about not really going to the basket and relying on the three-point shot. But Miami's small, so he should be able to post his will and get to the basket and be able to finish in the paint. I think he's starting off too many of these games relying on that three-point shot to get himself going offensively. And this is the level where you want to be a superstar in this league, and we know he's a superstar. This is the next level now. Now let me figure out how to score against this good Miami Heat defensive team. They need him to be aggressive, but they also need him to score the basketball. He he has to be efficient on the offensive end if they want to win this series. So Jason Tatum has to take a lot of blame for this.
Yeah, Twan, he should take the lion's share, period. When you lose to the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler only plays the first half, that's a problem. When you get 40 from Jaylen Brown, 20 from Al Horford, 16 from Marcus Smart, the other guys are doing their part. Even Grant Williams was in double figures. You just didn't show up. And those guys scoring should have opened up stuff for Tatum. And look, I'm going to give the Heat credit. Their defense was, and we know their defense is great, and they played well. Even shorthanded, I have respect for that organization and the people in it. So I'm going to give them their props for that reason. And also, because I'm tired of hearing Nick beg us to give the Heat some credit. So I'm giving them some credit, Nick. But this was on Jason Tatum. This was largely on Tatum. Twan, you were there. But from watching it on TV, it looked like he was not engaged. Like he was just not himself. And a couple of his early turnovers, I thought showed that. You mentioned him scoring at different levels. To me, Twan, these two turnovers, why not pull up on the baseline on the first one or pull up in the paint and just shoot the mid-range shot? Like he can score at all levels, and yet he's got to go all the way to the basket and get cut off and throw a bad pass. Just pull up for the nice 14-foot jumper, and you can hit that. And then in the fourth quarter, like the two quarters that cost him the game. First quarter, he's not engaged at all. He has, I think, no points. 0 for 2. Only took 2 shots. Only committed 1 foul. So he wasn't active. And then in the fourth quarter, after they made the run to get back within a point, I thought they were going to win at that point. Nick, I thought it was going to be kind of like game 2 with the Warriors and the Mavericks, where you had come back from the deficit. Now you had the momentum. The other team was deflated, and you get over the hump. But after they get within a point, he promptly follows up a Bam Adebayo basket with another turnover. In that fourth quarter, 1 point for Jason Tatum. Just wasn't active and engaged, and he's got to be obviously at his A level tonight.
But the Celtics won that quarter, so that's worth like half a win or something, I am told by Celtics Twitter. Like, hey, down 2-1 in the series, but you've only lost 2 quarters in the series, so maybe, I'm not certain. I know in Boston Garden, they used to hang championship banners. You've got, 17 of them. And now I think they have to hang conference finalist banners, because that's all they've gotten to in the last decade. Maybe they can now start hanging the majority of the quarters against the Heat in the 2022 conference finals. I'm not certain. I don't know if they have room for it up there. I'd put Antoine's jersey up there before I hung that banner, but that's neither here nor there. But let's talk about the number 1 seed, the team that won the East 2 years ago, and a team that we have seen this model win a title. So what if there was a team with an excellent coach, maybe the league's best GM, who drafts incredibly well, develops their players, plays both ends, and as an added bonus, has Kyle Lowry on the team with a 2-way superstar as its best player? Could that team ever win the title? Oh, we saw them win the title in the Raptors in 2019.
That's good.
Why can't the Heat be the Raptors? Yeah. Jimmy Butler's not good enough? Seems good enough to me. Oh, what if Jimmy goes down? Well, they just won this game without him playing in the second half. The Miami Heat won a game with Kyle Lowry playing on one leg, Jimmy Butler only playing one half, Tyler Hero not playing well at all in Boston, where Boston, they had the home court, they had, I'm told, the better team, I'm told the deeper roster, and they had the motivational pushes of Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum, sorry Antoine, both pulling a Paul Pierce minus the wheelchair. Oh my God, I don't know if he'll ever play again. And the guy misses 90 seconds, then he's back on the court. I thought Tatum had simultaneously hurt his knee and his shoulder. I'm like, oh my God, I go to Twitter. Twitter's like, oh, injuries are the worst. Prayers up. Prayer emojis for Jason Tatum. He missed 4 seconds. Marcus Smart was like, is he going to walk again? And he's back out there canning threes. Like, the Heat won the game. And at some point, Wild, before they hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy, Someone outside of the Dan Levitard family should acknowledge they might be good. Someone should probably do.
So you got them winning it. You got them winning it all.
I haven't given that pick yet.
They're not winning it.
You see, they're not Larry O'Brien trophy.
I think maybe some people will give him credit then. Go ahead, Wild.
We'll save that. I need to address the quarters issue. Here's the thing, Antoine.
Let's address it.
The Heat. I saw this from Tim Bontemps, so this was not like my seed of an idea. But I said, ooh, that's a good take. And then we went down and dug through the numbers. It wasn't that big of an assignment, to be honest with you. And we made this graphic. And I thought it was jarring that the Heat have played 2 dominant quarters. It's that third quarter in Game 1. It's the first quarter in Game 3 where they won by 20 points. But the rest of the series, the Celtics didn't even play. They need even or won. Now, granted, they had to try to dig themselves out of a big hole in Game 3, and it felt like they were. And it was like a dramatic third quarter, and then we looked up and like, God, we're still down by 15. Nothing actually happened. So I give the Heat credit for tying those quarters. But when you watch the totality of the quarters, and I know I'm splitting hairs here, it looks like the Celtics are playing better than the Heat. And earlier in the show, Broussard said, yeah, it's like fighting Deontay Wilder. Like, you can win the rounds, but you get hit with 2 big right hands, you probably lose the fight. But do you think, Antoine, there is any validity to the fact that the Celtics have played better overall, but had 2 stinkers work?
No, I think it's been an evenly matched thing. It comes down to certain plays. I just think when you look at the Miami Heat, they're going to get it done. It's a gut check time. Bam Adebayo was not playing well. He responded, had a great game, dominated the inside. Robert Williams missed for the Celtics, which is huge. A guy that was great in Game 1, who's a guy they need on the defensive end. When you try to advance and get to the finals, you got to play out every little day. You got to look at these injuries, certain guys in certain situations. You got to take advantage when guys are not in and out the lineup. So all these things are playing a part with the Heat, and it may come down to the coaching, who can make the most adjustments in this situation. And right now, the Miami Heat are winning the adjustment game.
So I just want to, just real quick, Brew, because you seem just taken aback by the idea that I might pick the Heat to win the title. Because, yeah, I had picked the Bucks to win the title, and they're gone. Like, you don't think the Heat would be the favorites in the finals? I mean, again, like, you would...
Look, I'll say this. I would give them a shot. Okay, I'm not. If they get to the finals, I'm not going to just tell them, oh, this is a one. No, I think they'd be a worthy opponent, no doubt about it. But Golden State would be favored. Does anybody doubt that other than Nick? Golden State would be favored.
So like I said, the underdog 1 seed Miami Heat. The underdog 1 seed Miami Heat. That's all they are. Listen, that's fine. We'll see what happens.
You know the Heat.
We're jumping ahead of ourselves. We got to first take a step back. Nick's got some NBA medals to hand out. Luka did his part last night for the Mavs. 40 points, 11 boards. Mavs needed more than just Luka, though. No win, no medal. Nick, who made the podium from a great weekend of action?
Luka, 2 40-point games this weekend. Doesn't get a medal for it, though, because Wilds has convinced me that, you know what? Maybe they should be playing Theo Pinson instead of Luka Doncic. Then someone else can pass to open 3-point shooters and see him miss the shots. Bronze medal. Andrew. Oh, Wiggins. You know what? Deep down, I'm happy for you, Andrew. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Canadians anyway. Even though it's making me look like a total idiot. And the clip, you know the worst part of my Andrew Wiggins clip going viral again is my haircut at the time. What was I thinking? Silverback. Jeff Curry. 31-11 for the humble superstar Steph Curry. Look at how humble he is. Watch him here. Oh, look at Steph. Oh, give it to him, Steph. Give it to, oh, yeah. Oh, that's an Andrew Walker shimmy. That was better than when the drink vendor tripped him on the sideline at the end of the first half. And then the gold medal. Bam Adebayo. I think Brew has him as the 9th best player in the series. I'm not sure he'd start for Brew's beloved Celtics or Suns or Nets. I think he's pretty damn good. 31-10-6-4, if that'll do anything for you. As Bam Adebayo helped the Heat win the game, but could not help them win enough quarters in Wild's unofficial quarter record. So, ironically, they have tried to do better.
Yeah, Wild.
All
right.
Just last
look at Wiggins. Look at Wiggins. Guys, Luka was asked about this after the game. Take a listen.
That was impressive, I'm not gonna lie. I saw the video again and I was like, oof. That was pretty incredible, and I wish I had those bunnies.
Hey, 10 large fries, please. I'm gonna need like 10 egg McMuffin sandwich things.
Night or the next morning, you've been loyal. Every order earns points redeemable for free McDonald's. You order with the McDonald's app.
Hi, Dad. This is our maker's moment, and we make it remarkable.
Unleash the freshness. Still fresh. In our scent booster.
Down the Unstoppables.
One shake and ants come running.
They're matches.
So be careful what you shake.
Run away!
Temptations can treats. All it takes is a shake.
What happens when performance meets power? You try crazy things because you're crazy and you like it. You get bigger, badder, faster. You can never have too much of a good thing, and power is a very good thing.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we also print that, and that, and that, and that too? Can't forget about that, or that either. So next time you think print, remember, when you use Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless.
Stop playing.
This summer, try Here's the Star, fighting the new Final Land Estate Burger at Carl Jr. and Arts. See Jurassic World Dominion in theaters June 10th.
New coach of the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions is the Bloodlines Domination Squad. It's an all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, 5 at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
I know this looks like your typical NRS game, but it's not. This is a Nissan sales event around here. Now we're talking. Good thing this Nissan Rogue is a standard turbocharged engine. This one's for Mexican financing for 17 months of 14 models. Hurry. You don't want to let these offers get away.
What the hell your problem is? You been acting like this all damn day.
You had this guy with the straight. Step up to GMC with 0% finance to your heavy-duty models. See your Bay Area Buick GMC dealer.
On Saturday,
How many girls do you think?
Breakers take on Jeff Fisher's Michigan Panthers. Kickoff 9 Eastern on FS1. Then on Sunday, the league-leading Birmingham Stallions
Oh, you chill with Chris.
take on the Pittsburgh Maulers. 2 Eastern. Only on Fox. So that's a look ahead. Let's take a quick look back at the end of Week 6. Nick, start us off with the best big man touchdown.
Oh, look at this Gamblers Generals and Gamblers Defense Forces. Look at him go! Tomasi Lelele, scoop and score. That's 6'3", 300-plus pounds coming right at you. That's going to be the best big man touchdown of the year, would be my guess for the USFL.
Ooh, all right, Broussard. Best trick play.
Well, my generals in action. Here they are driving in the fourth general. They're calling this the Philly Jersey Special. Cameron Eccles-Lupert takes a reverse, throws it to quarterback Luke Perez for a key first down. Then was punching in the time is foul to beat Rick Gambler. I'm with it.
Wild's best concentration.
Stallions, Panthers. Birmingham's Marlon Williams hauls in the catch, loses the helmet. Helps the Stallions improve to 6-0, only undefeated
Police don't
team.
want you to. But she fine.
All right, good stuff. Time now for stories to start your morning, sponsored by Ram Truck, built to serve. Dallas Mavericks trying to avoid a 3-0 hole to the Jets. No team's ever come back from one of those in the playoffs. No team has Luka except the Mavs, and Luka was good last night. 40-11. You know who else was good? The Warriors. 31 for Steph. How about 27 points for one Andrew Wiggins? Golden State now just one win away from the finals. Nick, we got to start with you. You've been banging the drum, pounding the chest, saying it with bass. How'd you get this one so wrong?
Well, I haven't gotten it wrong yet, Jack. The pick is the Mavs. The Mavs, I don't think they have lost the fourth game as of yet. And I just heard Bruce, very, very quick question. Would you be shocked if the Mavs won game? Would you be shocked if the Mavs won? Okay, so Brew doesn't think they're dead either. Because I just heard Brew explain how if Boston could be down 3-1 in a road series and be totally fine. So who says the Mavs can't be down 3-1 in a road series and be totally fine? Series far from over, America. However, well, 3-0, then it's 3-1, then it's 3-2. I heard Wilds talk about 3-0 leads, or at some point it's going to happen. It's a whole thing. See, guys, I remember everything and keep it all tucked away in my brain. Wilds like, 3-0, it's going to happen at some point when he was trying to kill Embiid, Harden, and Doc Rivers. But then up 3-0, and then it was 3-1, then it was 3-2, and then I was like, oh boy, what's going to happen? So let's not act like the series is over. It's not. But I did get a few things wrong here, so let's address them. I said this is a terrible matchup for Golden State. It appears to have been a terrible matchup for the Mavericks. Why? At first, one would be like, well, is Steph just crushing them? And the answer to that's no. Steph is not crushing them. Steph's playing well, but he's not crushing them. Clay hasn't played great. Draymond, the best thing that happened to the Warriors in Game 2 was Draymond fouling out, and Poole's been fine. So what happened? Two things happened. I didn't see either one of them. One is, basically, the Mavs have beaten Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton.
You never told your mama.
Because neither of those guys would punish them for playing small. Kevon Looney has annihilated them for playing small. He's shooting 78%, and he's getting seemingly an offensive rebound every 2 minutes. He's just demoralized. Looney has punished them for playing the way they want to play. Okay, you didn't see that. And the other one is the basketball gods have paid me back. Because a few years ago, I did a half Beverly on Chris Paul to Andrew Wiggins. And Bruce tried to talk me out. Bruce said I was too harsh on him. Bruce said he is a fine fourth option, and that I'm writing him off too early. And I wrote off not only Wiggins, but the entire Warriors era. I said because of Spencer Wiggins, they'll never get the finals again, and now because of Wiggins, they're getting away from the finals. So I didn't see that coming. At no point. And I was wrong on Wiggins, and I was a little harsh, and I'm going to have to eat it. But that's what happened, you know? But I'm not giving up hope. And you know what would give me even more hope, bro? If Wild brings out that stupid, ugly, burnt up room. That's gonna give me some life if I see that at some point this segment. Go ahead.
Don't show it, Wild. Do not show it, Wild. But look, Nick, despite Nick picking the Mavs, he's very smart. He is very smart. He gets out in front. Oh, they're gonna destroy me because of the Andrew Wiggins thing. So let me do it first. Let me kill myself so they really can't come at me like that. But Nick, I've got it. There you go. That's right. It was him, right? I've got to talk a little bit more about Wiggins. And in all seriousness, when he went there, I think you would agree, he had the talent of a number one guy, right? I mean, he's drafted number one. Everybody thought he was going to be a superstar. He has the game of probably a number two guy. But he has the personality. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but he's a legit team player. I don't think he's like, I got to be a superstar. I got to be the best player on the team. I don't know if he even wants that responsibility. So he is the perfect demeanor for a number 4 option. And that's why I thought he would be resurrected when he went to Golden State, because obviously at that point he was a third scorer behind second player. Now you're going to put him in there. He's a fourth scorer now. And he's a fourth or fifth player, best player, because obviously Draymond is in there. And so this is a perfect role for Iguodala. This is the brains of the Warriors organization, because they've done this before. Sean Livingston excelled there. Leandro Barbosa excelled there later in his career. And Andre Iguodala, more importantly, Wilds, he was a similar guy. Like, they thought he'd be a number 1 in Philadelphia early in his career. But he did, he played okay, but he couldn't carry the team. He goes to Golden State from Denver, and in this role as a role player, he's exceptional. He's a champion, he's a winner, he's fantastic. And that is what I see happening, Wilds, with Andrew Wiggins. So yes, Nick, he deserves your props. I'm glad you're giving him props. And to your credit, you did say it a year ago.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
look at that.
I brought out my terrible-looking broom.
There it is.
It's been, it's had a rough go. It had a rough go cleaning up Barclays. People are like, why is your broom so bad? It's hard to clean up all of Barclays with one tiny blue broom. So here's the thing. The series is over. I know it. Luka knows it. Jason Kidd knows it. Luka said, hey, I think after this season is done, whatever, I think we're going to look back and learn a lot of things. Not great, past tense stuff. Here's Jason Kidd. This is just the beginning of the journey. Oh, that's very nice. Still got a game to play, but that basically means the series is over. So, Nick, here's the thing. I don't think Luka played badly at all. I think Luka played pretty well. I do think Luka distributed the ball. But I also think, hit my interesting radar when Luka has another 40-point game and the Mavs lose again. Now, Dusty made up this beautiful graphic that makes Luka's 40-point scoring in the playoffs, makes his record 2-6. Magic is 1-3, he rarely did it. Duncan was 1-3, he played a bunch of playoff games, rarely did it. Russ, 3-4. So I understand you're not saying Luka needs to do more. I don't think Luka needs to do more. I do think Luka might have to do less. So yeah, Reggie Bullock, went over yesterday.
No, but drill down on it.
What?
Explain it. What do you want to? What in games 2 or 3? What should Luka have done? Because clearly you think him scoring 40 led to the loss. So I just want to know. We got to finish the thoughts here. So tell me, what should he have done? Tell me.
I think he just keep feeding people and get people hot. I don't know what the exact solution is.
What did you just say?
When you score 40 points.
Whoa, what did you just say?
People.
Get people
I don't
hot.
think every one of Reggie Bullock's... No, get people going. It's part of the leader's responsibility to make everyone else around you better.
You want him to be like
and when
Mama
guys
Bird.
struggle around Luka, it's always everybody else's fault.
He's doing everything he can do. Give me a break. Maxi Kleba had to hit a 3 in a month. What do you mean he can't win? Nobody picked him to win the title. Nobody picked him to win the title.
Nick, I'll tell you, Nick. I'll tell you what it is. I'll explain Wilds' point. And it's not against Luka. I've said it, Nick. Historically, nobody's won this way. Luka is the show. He's a one-man show. LeBron didn't win it as a one-man show. Jordan didn't win it as a one-man show. Wilt Chamberlain didn't win it as a one-man show.
Did win it
it's
as a one-man
really
show.
on Luka, but they gotta find a way. They gotta find a way to get everyone to excel while Luka's excelling.
Yeah, by getting better players. It's not like there are these great players.
But better players don't want to play. Better players don't want to play when Luka's doing everything.
You based on nothing.
History.
What's the trade free agent that's like, I don't want to play with Luka?
We've seen it before.
We're all
We've
on the
seen
same
it
page.
before. They got to tweak the system.
We'll see
Tweak the
tomorrow.
system.
We're going to stay here and talk.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. Let's go face to face. I embrace debate. I don't make my case. Drop smack when I'm done. One more can I say? I bite to my tongue. I don't like the taste. I'm on in the morning. I own my cone. And I'm always in the zone. Need a zone, not a zone. And then we can get it proper. Pick the topic. If you know it, skip and share it. Skip that hop and took these 14 minutes. Undisputed.
Living and dying by the three can be a dangerous thing. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Undisputed. We hope you had a fabulous weekend. I'm Jen Hale, here alongside Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
I had a very adventurous Sunday, Skip Bayless. I circled over Baltimore for about almost 2 hours, running low on fuel, got diverted to Richmond, sat there for 2 hours. But I'm here because I wouldn't miss beating you down on a Monday morning for anything in the world.
And why exactly are you in Baltimore?
Actually, we were filming 30 for 30 on the 2000 Ravens. So I got that this afternoon and tonight.
Well, you didn't have much contribution in 2000, so I don't know how little your part's going to be here.
There you go. See, there you go. I mean, I can't even go. See, I try to be nice, and you shoot me down every chance you get.
Well, I did want to ask you, I know somebody who said Mavericks in 7? Really? Are they going to win 4 straight now?
It's not looking good for the home team. But I did get 2 cases on about Luka getting 20 in the first half, right?
You did, but you won the battle, not the war, because you also have Boston in 6. Does that mean they're going to win 3 straight?
Put 2 cases on they win in 6.
3 straight?
We already got 2.
I think we already have 2. You want to make it 4?
In 6.
Okay, do 4. Done. Thank you. Appreciate that. Next question.
Saw him coming.
Shots fired here on Undisputed Early. Guys, I have a feeling this is going to be a great show this morning. All right, man, Luka was on fire. He scored a game-high 40 points last night. Shannon, he's your guy. Just not enough, though, for the Mavericks. The Warriors would end up winning Game 3, 109-100. They now have that 3-zip series lead. Shannon, what percentage of the blame does Luka deserve for the loss?
I'm going to get very minimal blame. Skip, I blamed him. I put a lot of the blame on him in Game 1 because he was awful with the turnovers, only scoring 20 points. But if you look at his last 2 games, he gave you 42 points on Friday night. He gave you 40 points last night. And he did it for you on 11 of 23 shooting. He got to the free throw line 17 times. You love guys getting to the free throws, but you love even more when they make their free throws. He's 14 of 17 from the foul line. Gave you 21 in the fourth quarter when the game was in the balance. They still had an opportunity to win. But Skip, when you get Reggie Bullock and Max Kleber going 0 for 15, 0 for 12 from 3, it's going to be hard to overcome that. When your starting center, Powell, only gives you 3 points, and guys went 4 of 14 on passes from Luka Doncic. Skip, in the last 2 games, he's averaging 41 points a game on 50% shooting, 84% from the free throw line, and he's giving you 2 steals a game and a block and a half a game. I don't really know what else he can do because at the end of the day, Skip, he does have teammates, and the teammate does bear some culpability, and they do have some responsibility to make some shots. I'm not saying Reggie Bullock needs to be Steph Curry. I'm not saying that Max Kleber needs to be Nikola Jokic. But damn, can you give us some production? Can you give us Reggie? Can you give us 8 points? Kleber, can you give us 10? Skip, you remember the last series, he seemingly couldn't miss against Phoenix. You see Reggie Bullock, he couldn't miss against Phoenix. Now, damn, he's charging 50 cents for a basket. And he's empty. He got no money because he can't make a basket. So for me, Skip, I'm going to give Luka minimal blame. At bare minimum, you know what? He is a superstar. And, we expect superstars to do so much. But I can only give him 5% of the blame because I don't really know what else he can do. If I told you that Luka, Skip, in the last 2 games was going to be averaging 41 on 50% shooting 84% from the free throw line and he's shooting 50% from the 3. Things that Skip Bayless tell me he's not any good at. He's a terrible 3-point shooter. 50% is great. He's a terrible free throw shooter. 84% is great. considering you say Luka is a below-average three-point shooter and free throw shooter, and he's giving you 41% on 50% shooting from the floor, 47% from the three, 84% from the free throw line. At the end of the day, Skip, you look at what Steph is getting from Jordan Poole. Look at what he got the other night from Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney scored more points in an NBA game since his, freshman year at UCLA. Jordan Poole chips in. Draymond is going to do Draymond things. Klay Thompson. Because at the end of the day, Skip, they got the best player. Luka Doncic is the best player. But 4 through 5 belong to the Golden State Warriors. So he can't overcome that. One man, I don't care how great he is never going to overcome a great team. And we saw that play out in 86. We saw it play out in 87. We saw it play out in 88, 89, and 90. No one ever said Michael Jordan sold out. They said, how is he supposed to beat those great Celtics teams? How is he supposed to beat those great Pistons teams? Until he got more help. And so Luka needs some help. Did win the chip there last night, but it wasn't nearly enough. So for me, Skip, I'm going to give him 5% of the blame, because for me, when I watch the game, I don't really know what else Luka can do.
Huh. Well, now that you've talked away the whole show, I'll take a quick turn. We got to go to break here in just a second, but given the superstar status that you already afford and acclaim for Luka Doncic, I got to go 75% of the blame for Luka, because I got to get a new TV. I'm seeing a very different game than you're seeing.
Okay.
And again, you're saying that Skip Bayless says this, I don't say anything. The stats scream he's a lousy shooter from 3 and the free throw line. Going into Friday night's game 2, he was shooting from 3, 34% for his career and for these playoffs. From the free throw line for his whole career, for 4 years of career and through these playoffs going into Friday night's game 3, he was 74% from the free throw line. Those are LeBron stats. LeBron is I'll be nice today, below average three-point and free throw shooter, and Luka is actually a touch worse than even LeBron is from both 3 and the free throw line. So I will give you this. The irony of games 2 and 3 was Luka had a crazy hot hand, and we have seen LeBron rarely, on occasion, get hot from 3 and the free throw line. Well, that was Luka, and all of your stats are obviously correct in that he's 9 of 19 from 3 in the last 2 games. That's 47%. Well, that's an aberration. And from the free throw line, what is he, 27 of 32? That's 84%. Well, obviously, that's an anomaly. That is an outlier, because those are completely off the chart stats for Luka Doncic.
But that wasn't the question, though. The question wasn't whether this is an anomaly. This wasn't the question whether this is, what it was. You're saying culpability, blame. You're blaming him for shooting 84% from the free throw line, 47%
I think it
from
was
the three.
my turn to talk now that you talked out the whole show, and so I was just getting started and I got rudely interrupted again. Okay, so
go ahead.
The point is, last night and in game 2, he had 40% usage rate. He dribbles the air out of the basketball. Dribble, 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 dribble. Wiggins is doing an extraordinary job of making him work. And he starts to wear down. And the harder he works, the longer his teammates have to stand like, hey, are you gonna pass it to me, or maybe not? It's the end of the clock, and I gotta shoot it. And they were as cold as he was hot last night, because he's dribbling the air out of the basketball. Now, superstar Luka. What are these games boiled down to? What has Golden State dominated the whole year long? What are they known for? Third quarter domination. Trust me, the Dallas Mavericks know all too well. Their scouting reports are screaming at them. You have to be ready to withstand the onslaught in the third quarter. Luka Doncic.
Right.
He's the superstar. Wait a second. Now I'm looking at these 3 third quarters in games 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. They lost to Dallas. They lost the first one 34-24. The next third quarter in game 2, they lost 25-13. Last night they lost 30-21. That means they're losing the games in the third quarter. Well, let's see what this superstar Luka did in the third quarters. In game one, he was 1 of 3 and 0 for 1 from 3. He scored 4 points. In game two, he went 2 of 5 and 0 for 2 from 3. And in game 4, he went 2 of 5 and was 0 for 1 from 3. So he's now, he scored a grand total of 10 points in 3 third quarters. He's 5 of 13 from the floor and 0 for 4 from 3. In all 3 third quarters, he shot 4 threes and missed every one of them. And guess how many free throws he shot in the 3 big third quarters, the turnaround quarters? Shannon Sharp, your superstar has shot 0 free throws in 3 straight third quarters combined. 0 free throws. I don't know what happens. He shrinks. He fades. He disappears. I don't know. 10 total points for 3. He's averaging 3.3 points per third quarter. Way to go, superstar.
So now it's the third quarter. When you said, since you and I've been on the air, it's the fourth quarter.
It's Golden State. That's what they do. They do the third quarter.
So let me get this right. If Luka were to give you what he's been giving you in the fourth quarter, I think he scored 18 in one fourth quarter. He scored 21 last night in the fourth quarter.
21 last night.
So if he gives you that in the third quarter, and then they falter, what's Skip Baylor's retort going to be? The fourth quarter is where you make your hay. Skip, they're getting crushed on the glass. Golden State Warriors, are not a very good rebounding team, but they're plus 14 per game. They're plus 11 the last 2 games in offensive rebounding. So they're killing them on second chance points. So you know, Skip, a good shooting team, as the Warriors are, the last thing you want to do is give them a second, a third crack at you. Because eventually, Steph and Clay Poole are going to get those shots to go down. Draymond is going to get one rolling to the basket where he lays it up. Kevon Looney is going to dunk it. So you know you got to do a better job on the glass. And I just don't understand what the Mavs are thinking. It's because it's like everybody's just looking around. Golden State is beating them to every loose ball. So now, not only is Reggie Bullock and Finney Smith, does anybody know has he been kidnapped? I know there was a UFO sighting. I didn't know it was over Dallas, but somehow Finney Smith has been kidnapped. I have not heard. All he does is get technical fouls. He's supposed to be shut down. He and Reggie Bullock supposed to be doing a number on Clay and Steph. Now Steph is Michael Jordan and LeBron James has only got over 34 with 7 plus 30 games in the 30 games in the playoffs.
Okay, so you brought it up. Last night, Luka had 21 points in the fourth quarter. He made 3 of his threes in the fourth quarter. Let's see what happened when he made them. There was one at 8:30. They were up 11. That was Golden State when he made it. There was one at 3:21. They were up 14. Was Golden State at 3:21. One at 1:49 left. They were up 11 again. Empty calories, garbage points. He just piling it, pouring it on late when the game is out of hand. Golden State led by 14-ish for most of the fourth quarter. Thanks to the third quarter. Way to go, superstar. Congratulations, Shannon.
But Skip, you and I both know. Let's take KD's best game of his career, when he had that 48, 17, and 10 triple-double. He's going to lose that game if Jeff Green does not go 8 or 9 for the three-point line. If Blake Griffin doesn't give him 18. The Kevin Durant, that monster game, 48, 17, and 10, is going to go by the wayside. What we've seen over the last several years, let's just say the last decade, one man, no matter how great he plays, he can't beat a team as long as, because you look at Giannis. Skip, remember what was that Sunday? Giannis had a 44-20 ball game. I think it was 44-20, and they lost because Jason Tatum matched him, but he also got 20-plus from Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. So unless someone comes along, so even if I say, okay, Luka push with Steph, Clay, Draymond, so you had Dinwiddie, and I think someone else gave him some points. It's the Draymond 10, it's the Kevon Looney 9, that Max Kleber gave you nothing, that Reggie Bullock gave you nothing, that Finney Smith was very limited on what he gave you. So when you look at that, Skip, I'm like, what? Jalen Brunson finished. Jalen Brunson gave you 20, and then when he gave you 26. Okay, that matched the big gun for the Warriors. But now I need somebody to match Draymond. I need somebody to match Kevon Looney. I didn't get that, Skip. Well, I know they're not going to match Jordan Poole, so that's where the game is lost, Skip. It's the others. And right now, Golden State others are playing better. Like, think about this, Skip. When was the last time you saw the number 1 overall pick be the 3rd or the 4th option? Because that's what Andrew Wiggins is. He's the number 1 overall pick just 8 years ago, and he is the 3rd or 4th option.
Interesting. Last night he looked like the 2nd option to me, because I'm glad you brought that up. Now we get to the real story of Game 2 and Game 3. I am now going to have to rename Luka Doncic. I'm going to have to call him Luka Doncic, because there's no D in Doncic. It's Doncic, because Luka got absolutely torched on Friday night, especially in the second half. And last night was actually even more embarrassing, because Andrew Wiggins just hunts him, or at least they hunt Andrew Wiggins and try to get him isolated on Doncic as many times as possible, which is why last night, would you believe that Andrew Wiggins went 11 of 20 for 27 points? 18 of those were scored in the paint. 18 actually in the restricted area, because he was just terrorizing Luka at the rim. And could we please see the dunk of the night, if not the playoffs?
Oh, there you
because
go.
This epitomized last night to me was Andrew Wiggins terrorizing poor little Luka on this dunk, if we could please see it. Here we go. Good night, Luka. Oh, and Luka flops and goes down like he got hit in the face, and the ref actually bought it for a while until Steve Kerr said, no, I challenge, and they took about a 5-second look and said, you're right, Steve. It's just a basket. There's no foul. There's no offensive foul. There's no defensive foul. It's just a flat-out cock it back and dunk it as hard as you can dunk it on Luka. Every time I looked up, Wiggins was on Luka just the way Wiggins was on Luka on defense. He was all over Luka on defense when Luka tried to guard him, because Luka guards nobody. He just sort of stands around in the lane. And would you believe that last night Andrew Wiggins got 6 offensive rebounds because Luka blocks out nobody. He blocks out nobody. He just stands in the lane and looks around and hopes he can grab a loose ball rebound. Way to go, Shannon.
Well, Skip,
superstar.
Well, Skip, that's what they try to do, and what they've been able to do is that they put Luka on the least dynamic offensive player. Well, unfortunately, if you can't put him on Clay, you can't put him on Steph, because they're perpetual motions. You're not gonna put him. Maybe you should put him on Kevon Looney. I don't know why. Maybe they should put him on Draymond. But you can't stand because they're trying to put him on Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is a wing player that moves. So while you're right, Luka, a lot of times Luka get rebounds and the rebounds come right to him. Well, Andrew Wiggins is racing him to the ball, and so he has 6 offensive rebounds. But if you look at it, you'll take this. If Luka gives you 40, 41, you'll offset that with Andrew Wiggins' 27, because more than likely Steph is going to give you 30. Now if I get 19 or 20 from Clay, now Jordan Poole, Draymond, and Kevon Looney. I need your 3 guys, Dallas, to match the production that the Warriors' 3 auxiliary 3 guys give you. Can someone match Draymond's production? Can someone match Jordan Poole's production? And can someone match Kevon Looney? Skip, in the third quarter Friday night, as you was talking about, they have this lead. And I hear Jalen Brunson talk about after the game, they were great looks. Let me ask you a question. What's a better look? A wide open 3 or a free throw? You were in the bonus at 6.5 minutes, and you're still jacking up 3s because it's fool's gold. They're great looks. There's not a 3 that's ever been attempted that's a better look than a free throw. And while you keep taking those 3s, guess I go to State, get back in the game. Layup, dunk, and you're taking 3s, and nobody's smart enough Nobody on Dallas is smart enough to say, hold on, guys, we're in the bonus. Let's just drive the ball. And Steve Kerr's doing a great job, Skip. He plays man. He jumps in the 2-1-2. He jumps in the 3-2. He's jumping in and out of zone. And it seems like it's confusing him. You know at some point in time you're going to see the zone. Check in. You've seen the zone every game. Why are they not better prepared for it? Because it seems like every time they jump into the zone, the first thing that you do in the zone, you turn the ball over. And I need to know why.
Okay, I'm going to finish about Andrew Wiggins because you have scoffed at him when I have labeled him an arriving star. Not a superstar, but a star. And I remind you, he did make his first all-star team this year. And I remind you, the star of Game 6 against Memphis, and remember, Memphis was the real Western Conference Finals. That to me, against Golden State, that was the series. Not this one, Memphis. I picked Memphis to win the West. I still believe they would have if Dylan Brooks had not been suspended for effectively games 2 and 3, and if Ja hadn't gotten hurt for the final 3 games of that series. But in Game 6, the closeout game, the guy who hit all the big shots, especially for the first half of the fourth quarter, was Andrew Wiggins. Made 3 big threes and a big 15-foot jump shot. Those were the biggest shots in the game that kept Memphis at bay, that held them off and actually gave Golden State a 3-point lead. And then Steph went along for the ride. He jumped on the bandwagon at the back end of the bandwagon to close the game out. So Andrew Wiggins has arrived this playoffs, and he is arriving on the offensive end, especially in this series, because he's guarded by Doncic. That's why.
Yeah. Skip, you know why he's arrived? Because he has the easiest job. He's the number 1 overall pick, and he's the 4th option. All the pressure is on the nucleus. Draymond, Clay, and Steph. So he gets to ride along. Anything that he gives you, Skip, is icing. Anything he gives you is gravy on the Salisbury steak. Skip, there's no pressure on Andrew Wiggins. We saw when Andrew Wiggins had the pressure in Minnesota, what he looked like. You saw when he had expectations in Minnesota, what he looked like. We saw what he looked like when Steph was hurt. We saw that. Don't pretend like you didn't see Andrew Wiggins. I'm not going to let you talk about like Andrew Wiggins like he's Jason Tatum. He's one of these young guns that's coming. He's not. He has no expectation.
The same Jason Tatum who disappeared the other night in Boston? That guy?
We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about him. But you and I both know there's a difference between being the guy with expectations and being a guy. And right now, Andrew Wiggins is a guy with no expectations. Anything that he gives you outside, you graciously accept it. But there are no expectations on him. They're not expecting him. Expect him to give you 27 a night, like they do Steph, like they do all these other guys, like Luka is expected to play every single night. Andrew Wiggins has only had those expectations in Minnesota, and he never got to the playoffs. Now, all of a sudden, he made it to the play-in game last year, and now we're fully healthy Steph, Clay back, and Draymond. He's going along for a great ride. But I'm not, that's not to demean him, but don't you talk about that Andrew Wiggins got all these lofty expectations, and he's balling out of his mind. It's easy to ball.
Well, I just told you, without him, Golden State would have faced a Game 7 back at home against Memphis that would have been very dangerous for Golden State.
But Skip, he has no expectations. It's easier to play when you have no expectations as opposed to when you have those lofty expectations. Well, you know that.
He's creating expectations as we speak.
Okay, all right.
Indeed, guys, because that might have been his best NBA game yet. Steph Curry waxed absolutely poetic about Wiggins' impact post-game. All right, Shannon, we got to put you on the hot seat coming up next. How much trouble are your Celtics in after dropping that Game 3 at home? Plus, is that Lakers coaching job proving to be less desirable than we might have thought? All that's coming up next on Undisputed.
USFL football continues with another electrifying weekend of gridiron action. Saturday on FS1, the New Orleans Breakers battle Jeff Fisher's Michigan Panthers in prime time. Touchdown! Then Sunday on Fox, the league-leading Birmingham Stallions take on the Pittsburgh Maulers. Real football for real fans. The USFL, Saturday and Sunday on FS1 and Fox.
New Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda.
Classic cola.
Wow, that's wow flavor. What just happened? Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. Loudest flavors ever.
Think Dad's searching doggy diet plans for Josie? No, he's switching his choice cashback category to home improvement, so he earns more on a new doggy door. Extra large.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
You're a one-man stitchwork master, but your staffing plan needs to go up a size. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Just on my card with Carpenters.
Yeah, you did.
And you instantly got the best, most competitive offer from our network of thousands of dealers.
So you're selling the car but keeping the buck. You sell the room too?
Car Gurus. Get the best offer for your car.
Can you believe this? Doug Flutie and Frank Thomas. You guys look great. Once I turn 40,
Let me guess, less energy, less drive.
definitely. It's not your fault. It happens to every man. Testosterone levels drop as you age. Happen to you guys? Yeah. So what did you do?
We got Nugenix Total T.
To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text SURGE to 231-231. This unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help increase testosterone levels.
That does it. I gotta get Nugenix. Just send a text for a complimentary bottle.
And by the way, she'll like it too.
Get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix now. Text SURGE to 231-231. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. That's SURGE to 231-231.
You know, you hear a lot about celiac, but I never thought my DNA would tell me I had a higher risk for it. I mean, I'm a food critic. I literally eat for a living. This could be a game changer.
Do you know what the future holds?
It's still the Eat Fresh Refresh, which means Subway's up in their bread game. We're talking artisan Italian bread, baked fresh daily. The only thing fresher than that bread is the guy reading this. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing and
Using Wi-Fi without NordVPN could mean sharing your private stuff with more people than you think. Get NordVPN and encrypt your internet connection. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
My first aid.
Yeah, let's go!
On a trip. Book with Priceline.
You save more so you can woo more.
Woo. Yeah, feel the savings. Priceline. Every trip is a big deal.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that? And that. And that. And that menu. And that's embroidery. But yeah, we print that too.
Can you print here?
Sure, we can print there. We can even help design it. We make print that lets people wear your brand. Take it. Stick it. Carry anything in it. So next time you think print, remember, when you use Vistaprint, the print abilities are endless. Print it all. Vistaprint.com.
Time for a refreshing performance brought to you by Corona Extra. Find the fine life. So the Heat stole Game 3 in Boston despite Jimmy Butler scoring only 8 points before leaving with knee inflammation. Jason Tatum only put up 10 of his own points. Boston now down 2-1 in this series. Shannon, this is your team. What happened to the Celtics Saturday night?
They came out flat, and that's the last thing I would have expected, Skip, the way they played the 2 nights ago, that got that big win on the road, took home court away from the Miami Heat. I expected them to come in front of their home crowd just to consolidate that big win on the road. And what did they do? They come out flat. The thing that got them in trouble in game 1, Skip, they were in control. And what did they start doing in the third quarter? Turning the ball over. What did they start doing at the start of the game, this game? Turning the ball over. Skip, I know thieves that can't steal the ball as well as the Miami Heat stole the ball from the Boston Celtics. I don't know, you covered the game, followed the game a lot longer than I have. I've never seen a team steal the ball from another team like the Heat took the ball from the Boston Celtics. I've never seen that. Skip, I get it, sometimes you go to these little league games and the kids just learning how to play basketball, and somebody's a little better with a little bit more talent, they just come and take the ball from the kid. That's kind of like what it looked like. 19 steals in a game, Skip. 19-2. 24 turnovers to 9. The Miami Heat attempted 22 more shots. And I'm like, really? It's almost like Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown in the third quarter. It's like if he doesn't dribble, look at the ball and dribble it, he's trying to go behind his back. He's trying to split the double between by going between his legs. I'm like, bro, that's unnecessary. And once you got that big lead, the crowd could really never get into the game until late in the ball game. Give the Miami Heat credit because they ended up, the Celtics cut it down to 1, and Strus comes back, skips late in the fourth quarter, and hit a 3 to put them up by 4. Bam gives a layup in the 6th, and the game was basically over at that point. Skip, the thing about being a superstar is expectation and consistency. Far too many times, and I think this is why I have a hard time putting Jimmy Butler in the superstar category, because he'll give you 40 and then he'll give you 10. And we saw that from Jason Tatum, Skip. We keep seeing he has these monster games, and then he has a game like this where he gives you 10 points. He turns it over 6 times. I haven't labeled him a superstar. I said he's on the cusp of becoming a superstar because we have expectations for Jason Tatum. And a lot of times, he meets those expectations. But the superstar, once you get to this level, the KD, the LeBrons, and those guys, they're not giving you 40 and then turning around and giving you 10. They're not going to play like that. And that's what Jason, the hurdle, that's the last barrier. It's almost like the steeplechase. Skip, you know in the steeplechase, you got to clear that last water barrier before you get to the finish line. This is the last barrier that Jason Tatum needs to clear in order to be that superstar. But Skip, I was thoroughly disappointed with how the Celtics started this ball game. And then they lose Jimmy Butler. And you still lose this ball game? Now, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen tonight. They're going to come out and beat the brakes off the Heat tonight. You know that. I know that. So, but I was very disappointed with how the Celtics played. You can't play a game after as well as you played, to steal home court, and for you to give it right back to them is unacceptable.
Okay, my turn. Allow me to frame just how shameful this loss was for your Boston Celtics. This was all time. How in the name of Larry Joe Bird could you come up this small, especially in the second half of a game in which Jimmy Butler could not play? All I'd heard for the previous 48 hours from people I know, people texting me, NBA people, you're wrong about Miami. They can't score in the half court. It's Jimmy or bust. And I kept saying, no. They have the 6th man of the year in Tyler Hero. They have a Bam who has been an all-star who did average 19 and 10. And yet, the disgrace here for Boston is that Jimmy Butler, for whatever reason, could not go with knee inflammation in the second half. And Tyler Hero might as well have not gone in the second half because he was a disaster in this game. So my second scoring option goes 4 of 15 and 0 for 6 from 3. Gets benched in the fourth quarter in favor of Oladipo, and Tyler Hero winds up down at the end of the bench with a big ice bag on his thigh, on his quad, because apparently he's got some kind of quad pull that is troubling him also. So Marcus Smart goes down. It looks serious. He turned his ankle completely over, and he's back in about a minute. Shades of Paul Pierce. And then next, your man Jason Tatum goes down, and I think he's going to the hospital. He's torn his shoulder completely apart, and he's back in about 3 minutes. So you got both your two guys back, and I don't have Jimmy Butler, and I don't even have Tyler Hero, and it's going to be Bam or bust, really, in the fourth quarter, and it was Bam. He made 4 or 5 shots in the fourth quarter. But now we get down to the reason that I picked the Heat to win it all this year. There's just something about the backbone of this team that starts with Pat Riley through Eric Spoelstra, through Udonis Haslem on down. And I loved what Kyle Lowry said after the game. And by the way, it was huge to have him back just in presence alone. The numbers don't scream like greatness, but just to have the head of the the snake back to settle things down, to occasionally steal the ball was enormous, and I told you it would be on Friday. But Kyle Lowry said after the game, he says, Udonis always says, we all got it the hard way here. A lot of undrafted guys, a lot of low-round draft pick guys. We all found ways to make this our living and found out ways to do the job at a high level and to be here and to stay. That's big for us. Well, whatever that grit is, it led to glory on Saturday